We're gonna keep that same energy. We're gonna keep that same energy, man. I got the link dropped. Anybody want to get on with the landlord? We're more than happy to talk boxing with any and everybody. You know, there's a few things I want to get cleared up first. The first thing is it comes to Terrence Bud Crawford. You know, Terrence Bud Crawford had a lot to say about Manny Pacquiao, talking about Manny going back and forth with Manny Pacquiao with all these idiot comments. This is what Bud said. And I'm going to break it down because it's really disgusting on how he approached the whole Manny Pacquiao situation because Bud's a hater. Bud's a hater. Let me just be honest with you. Bud's a hater. Bud says Manny Pacquiao's got a top 5 all-time great list because when Floyd made it a point for him to do the blood test, Manny didn't want to do the blood test. And when Manny did do the blood test, he hasn't got knockouts since. Now, obviously, when you move up in weight, you get older and face injuries, you're not going to have the same knockouts. This guy, Bud Crawford, is a fucking hater. Now, look, I'll give Bud his credit in the ring. In the ring, Bud Crawford's an excellent fighter, has an excellent, accomplishments. His resume is dookie, paper thin. But Bud Crawford's a hater when it comes to other stuff like this because there's no reason to shit on Manny Pacquiao when Manny Pacquiao has done all this in boxing. Manny Pacquiao's the only 8-division world champion. Manny Pacquiao deserves respect, and I'm sorry, Bud Crawford's opinion don't mean shit. Does not mean shit, especially when he tries to discredit this man. He ain't never failed the drug test, but you want to shit on him. Bud is a hater. Bud's a hater. There's no reason to be a hater of that man. It makes no sense. Manny's done too much in boxing for you to be doing all this hate, man. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to welcome Fight Sports, Carlos. I'm going to welcome Edgar, man. What's up, fellas? How's it going?
What's up?
What's up, guys?
What's up?
WP.
What's up, Edgar?
What's good, man? What's good, man? We taking all callers today. We talking about anything and everything. Man, well, what's up, Edgar? J47 minutes. First time seeing you, my brother. What's good?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, my brother. Good, man. Any topics you want to get into first?
Yeah, I just had a question for you guys and everyone on the show. Why do you think that guys like Tim Bradley and Oscar De La Hoya are now changing their tune when it comes to Crawford fighting Canelo? Now all of a sudden, they're all saying they're changing their narrative, saying that that Canelo is going to beat him now. What's going on with that?
That's a good point because you've seen Tim Bradley doing all that meat riding and glazing Bud Crawford talking about, Bud is going to beat his ass. How you going to beat his ass in 1 minute? And then months later, you start talking about, I'm scared that if he actually trades with Canelo, I'm scared for what would happen to Bud. Canelo's a strong dude. He was just talking about how Canelo was washed and wasn't shit and how he was going to get outboxed. Right. That's what I'm saying, because that's how you know these guys are not honest and objective. These guys are a bunch of assholes who love to suck off, Terrence Crawford. And if Terrence Crawford gets knocked out, if he gets his ass beat, they're not going to have an excuse. Right. See, this is the worst thing. Let's say the narrative that they have is that Bud Crawford is going to outbox Canelo. But if Canelo Alvarez wins a decision over Bud Crawford, that means Canelo outboxes Bud Crawford. Then they're going to say, oh, but he didn't knock out Crawford. They're going to make some fucking excuse because they said they said Jermell Charlo was going to outbox Canelo too. I don't know if you guys remember that shit.
Yep. I saw that.
It's all the same bullshit, man. It's all the same bullshit. These guys are haters. Carlos, Fight Sport, you guys want to speak on that?
Real quick, I'll just say this real quick. To answer your question, Edgar, of J47, it's like how the saying goes in Spanish, no lo mismo llamarlo que verlo venir, which translates to it's not the same height. It's not the same when you call out a person than see them coming at your way, meaning that it's gonna be different when he has Canelo right in front of him. Right. It's a different ball game. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted to say.
Edgar, I think the answer is twofold. I think I'm hearing myself some feedback from someone. I think there's two reasons. I think one, a lot of these guys. First of all, Bradley has been calling Crawford like the greatest of this era for a while. Meanwhile, being very overly critical of fighters like Usyk. I mean, the comments he said about Usyk last year, I broke this down on my channel, are incredibly stupid. So he's been hyping up Crawford for a while. I think a lot of him saying, Crawford's way more talented than Canelo, etc., etc. I think a lot of that was wishful thinking. Now he's actually looking at it and thinking, well, actually size matters, so Crawford's punches aren't going to have any effect on Canelo. And I think the other thing is that a lot of these guys, we know De La Hoya's a crackhead, literally, but I think a lot of these guys, look, I get accused of being a Canelo hater, but a lot of these guys, they want Canelo to lose, and so they're saying, well, Crawford, it gives them a chance to, again, say that Crawford is extra levels of greatness. But, and this is the point which I think we might get to IBFP about Crawford's comments about Spence and Pacquiao. He has shot himself in the foot so badly since beating Errol Spence. It's laughable. Like, he sat out. He hasn't fought the guys we want to see him fight. He's held belts hostage. And now even the biggest defenders of Crawford are looking at him thinking, well, this is really hard to defend here.
He's moving real funny, man. And let me get to the one and only, the big step of my brother from another mother, Money Brown TV. What's up, my brother?
Man, what's going down? Nuke, how y'all doing, brothers of panel?
Good, my brother. Good. It's good to see you, my brother. It's good to see you, my brother.
Just listening to that goddamn Terrence Crawford, man, talk that bullshit, bro. We all know, right? The Errol Spence win went to his head, right? I give him credit. He beat my dog Spence, salute, right? But now it's like, do y'all remember when Canelo was at 154, and I think it was at 160, and Crawford was at 147. They asked Crawford, "Would you fight Canelo?" And his words was, "Who do y'all think I am, Superman?" All of a sudden, you beat Errol Spence, right? You get a mediocre win at 154, where a lot of people thought you kind of lost that fight. But now all of a sudden, you can go up to 168 and not just beat Canelo, right? These motherfuckers talking about he gonna knock Canelo out, right? So it's just like, we know he said it himself. He's doing it for the paycheck, bro. He got that Errol Spence check. That was the biggest payday he ever got in his life. That money looked good to him, right? Now, credit, he talked his way into a Canelo fight, but he's just doing it for the check, bro. We all know he's doing it for a check. Like you said earlier, Nuke, they said the same shit about Jermell Charlo. Crawford is a boxer puncher just like Jermell Charlo, bro. Your power is not going up to 168 to discourage Canelo in no shape, form, or fashion. Once you feel that Canelo power, your ass go get to trying to survive out there. And they all know that they got the little safety blanket of, oh, well, I was darned to be great. And Canelo was supposed to do that after he whooped his ass. You know what I mean? So I want Canelo to knock his ass out. I'm just going to be real with everybody. They can call me a Terrence Crawford hater all you want to. But I want Canelo to knock his ass out just to show them, quit playing with Canelo Alvarez and stop thinking y'all can jump weight classes and y'all only doing it for a paycheck. But we go hear the Benavidez nut suckers go come in a minute and try to Terrence Bud Crawford and why Canelo ain't fighting Benavidez. But I digress.
Man, Money, man, you talking your shit, man. And this is what I need. And I need everybody to know and show some respect to Money Brown TV, man. My brother Money will go in there and destroy anybody, any fucking body. And one thing I'm going to tell you is this, man. He had Southpaw TV shook. So if you ain't checked that shit out, go check that shit out. Southpaw was about to do some more crap.
Big Steppo, could you post the link to your channel?
Money, just drop the link to your channel in the chat, my brother. So anybody that ain't subscribed, they can go ahead and subscribe. So we got full support for you out here, my brother.
All right, I got you. Thank you for that too, bro.
Always, man. See, this what we talking about. See, Money Brown came on there and talked straight facts, man. These are straight facts. And we already know these Benavidez fans are around the corner waiting to say something, waiting to hate. We already know, man. And I also like to welcome my brother Park Street 3. And I also like to welcome my brother Big E and Ashy Knuckles to the panel. What's up, fellas?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
What's good? What's up?
What's good? What's good? Salute to my brother Remy. Big E, man. It's been a long time, my brother. How you doing?
Yo, man, it seemed like the work area that I'm at, for some damn reason, when I try to jump on the panel, the connection, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know if it's the signal out there in that area. It's out there in the backwoods, but for some damn reason, my shit ain't connected. But I'm in the right space, the right time for me to goddamn holler at y'all for a little bit, man.
Shit, let that shit off your chest, Big E. Talk to me, man. You missed a few lives, so I know you got some shit to talk. What you got to speak on, my brother?
For me, I don't like that for Canelo, for him to fight Terrence Crawford this year, later on down this year, I don't like it for Canelo, man, because to me, I feel like anybody right now could come up with their own little narratives about, you know, how the fight gonna go between Terrence Crawford and Canelo. But for the ones that know boxing, you do understand that it's weight classes for a reason. And I'm not taking nothing from Terrence Crawford. I'm rooting for Terrence Crawford, whatever he do, because I feel like he's a legend. Just like Canelo, he's a legend. But to me, I feel like it's a lose-lose situation for Canelo. If Terrence Crawford beat Canelo, it's going to taint his legacy. If Canelo beats Terrence Crawford, it's not going to add anything to his legacy, regardless of what we saying now in the current state. We all know when the fight is over with, just like that Jermell Charlo fight, when that fight was over with, everybody came up with this, well, Jermell was small and we should have seen it coming, but leading up to the fight, you ain't hearing none of that. So for Canelo, it's like you would have think by him already going through that situation, like why would you put yourself back in that situation? To me, I just feel like it's a lose-lose situation for Canelo.
Oh, I hear you on that. But the first thing you said about Bud was that he's a great fighter, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So, and if Canelo fights another great fighter, and people are saying that Bud is going to knock out Canelo, you remember Money can attest to this. Bomag said that they're going to do Canelo like they did Errol Spence. You see half of the people on social media saying Canelo might get stopped. Even Bud did an interview the other day talking about, I'm not looking for the knockout, but, you know, if it's, I might go ahead and just take it. Even though the knockout was nowhere near to be found with Madrimov. You talking about knocking out a guy with literally the best chin in boxing. I mean, I'm just saying, people, even the odds makers when they first came out almost had this fight listed as a 50-50. So to respect to what you're saying, but I'm sorry, my brother, Canelo got to get some credit he win this, because all of these Bud fans, the media, fighters, pundits, trainers have all come out and got on Bud's lap and started riding him like a rodeo. So they sitting up here riding this man like a rodeo, talking about Bud a killer, Bud the beast, Bud can't be fucked with, Bud is untouchable, Bud is the god. They don't even want to talk about how controversial that Madrimov fight was. They ignore that. They just look right past that. Oh yeah, it don't matter. He can beat Canelo. Let's do it. And now as the fight inches closer, you see Tim Bradley. Oh, I'm scared that they might trade because Canelo is strong. Now he's getting his excuses ready. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to see a bunch of people switch up, because we done all seen everybody come out there talking about Canelo going to get his head knocked in.
But
yeah,
100%.
Exactly.
But you're going to see it whether you like it or not. You're going to see people not give Canelo that credit. Look, we said the same thing about Jermell. We leading up to the fight, I remember Canelo fans was like, "Hey, the fans, y'all asked for this, right? Not only did you ask for it, but y'all was coming up with these delusional takes about why you thought Jermell Charlo could come up 2 weight classes to beat Canelo Alvarez. And then when Canelo Alvarez just wiped the floor with him, all of a sudden, everybody's energy changed. And I know you had addressed it or whatnot after the fight, you know, people switching it up. The fact of the matter is that Canelo Alvarez, come on, we know this dude he's in the limelight. He's going to be easily or fairly criticized for anything that he does.
You're correct, Big E. But here's the thing. Canelo, they didn't give him credit for the Caleb. They didn't give him credit for the Caleb Plant fight. They didn't give him credit for that. They basically said he was getting out boxed. They said Caleb Plant ain't that good. The moment he fought David Benavidez, Caleb Plant was a hell of a fighter. They switched up their entire narrative. And when Benavidez couldn't even knock out a guy that Canelo put down And Canelo beat him when he was undefeated and the world champion. And they give him little credit while Benavidez gets all. Well, he beat Caleb Plant. That's the first thing they say. Well, he beat Caleb Plant. Canelo beat Caleb Plant. But then nobody give a fuck. But that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of energy that switches up. And I'm getting a lot of people in the comments keep saying, let Ashy Knuckles cook. Let Ashy Knuckles cook. So I'm about to let Ashy Knuckles cook real quick. E-God says, what do people see about Bud Crawford that I'm not seeing? Bud's so easy to hit. His defense is damn near trash. I can see a knockdown in the 5th round. Salute to my brother E-God. I'm going to tell you this, man.
Sorry.
It don't even matter how Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo wins the fight, after Bud then begged his way into this situation, after his fans said he was going to get knocked the fuck out, I mean, Turkey Al-Sheikh should look like a dumbass for paying for it. I'm sorry. There's really no excuse. There's no excuse. And salute to my brother Clavo.
Yeah, sorry.
No. And the only thing is, as far as David Benavidez, I wanted to say one thing to Big E. I haven't heard you speak on David Benavidez and what the status on him is either yet, Big E.
Yeah, I've been pretty much hearing what y'all been talking about, as far as just Bivol pretty much is just going. I guess he's going to go along with what Turkey Al-Sheikh want him to do or whatnot. And to me, I feel like this. Like, I think Ashy Knuckles. Somebody was like, well, if Bivol decides to go and follow Turkey Al-Sheikh instead of just following up with the mandatory that was put out there for him to fight David Benavidez, is consider him a duck. I don't look at it like that, man. I look at it like, Bivol has earned his chance to fight whoever he want to fight. If he want to fight,
hold on. Let me stop you there, Big E. Hold on. Let me stop you there, Big E. Did Canelo duck David Benavidez in your opinion?
Yeah.
And based on what?
Based on the fact that the boxing fans in general has been calling for that fight for 3 years, and with Canelo being the face of boxing, he's not interested in making that fight happen. I mean, he just came out in the interview.
Okay, so now, Big E, you just said Bivol has earned the right to do what he want to do, but Canelo hasn't. So
the only reason why
hold on one second, Big E, 1 second. Canelo's a 4-weight world champion and was been undisputed. And if he wins in May, he's going to be 2-time undisputed. He's way more accomplished than Dimitri Bivol, has a better resume than Dimitri Bivol. And that's not to say anything negative about Bivol. He's an elite fighter. He's a great fighter. All of that stuff. But it's funny that this man could not be called a duck, but Canelo can be called a duck. And yet Benavidez passed on his mandatory opportunity with Canelo and enforced it with Bivol. But one is a duck and the other one's not. That's not keeping the same energy. That's not being consistent.
Let me respond. Hold
on. That's not being consistent to me. So that's why I don't understand how you can call one a duck and you call the other when Canelo has, if everybody in boxing, Canelo has put in the most work, that man has earned the right to do whatever the fuck he wants to do.
And I want to respond to that.
I don't think
my thing. Hold on, right quick. My thing is this: we live in a what have you done for me? Nobody disputing Canelo's accolades and his accomplishments. We understand he's one of the top, if not the top, face of boxers in all of the sport. I'm not disputing that, but we live in a what have you done for me lately society. When you comparing Canelo ducking David Benavidez to Bivol ducking David Benavidez, you gotta understand. We gotta look at the options, right? Canelo is ducking David Benavidez and fighting peanuts. You know what I mean? Canelo, with Bivol, he's saying, "Yo, I don't want to fight David Benavidez. I want to right now." There's still an ongoing debate on if I am clearly the best 175-pound fighter in the goddamn world, and whether y'all want to believe it or not, it's a 50-50 type of opinion when you look at Bivol and Benavidez. Like Bivol didn't, there was still scrutiny about that second fight just as much as the first fight. You had people swinging their opinions on who they thought should win the fight in both fights. So it's like he's fighting the very best. He's fighting one of the top pound for pound fighters. It's not like Bivol going out fighting cupcakes. He's fighting the very best. And what have you done for me lately, society?
Okay. No, I'm gonna let somebody else get this real quick. I was gonna get it. And one baller says salute to Money Brown TV. He's a real one, OG in the game. Salute my brother. Salute to Money Brown TV, man. If you don't know, now you know. Park Street, Ashy Knuckles. I got to hear from you guys. Then we're gonna circle back to money, talk sport, and my brother Carlos.
Okay. I had a caveat to add for Big E because he said he won't get no credit. Me personally, Canelo is the only guy that I know of outside of, Bivol fighting Beterbiev in the same weight class that actually fought an undisputed champion. If he fights Terrence Crawford, there's going to be 2 undisputed champions, 2 top 5 pound for pound at the time when he fought Jamel Charlo. He was top 5 pound for pound in my personal opinion, being undisputed. So that would be 2 undisputed champions that he fought top 5 pound for pound. And on top of that, these niggas, they was calling him out. He wasn't calling them out, and they're naturally bigger fighters. And we got to realize just because you fight in a higher weight class doesn't mean you're naturally bigger. Canelo in his last 15 fights has literally had his the people that he's fought has had at least a 4 to 5 inch height advantage and at least a 3.5 to 4 inch reach advantage. So he's always fighting at a disadvantage. So even with this fight, that's cool. Even with this fight with Terrence Crawford, everybody is nut hugging and riding Terrence Crawford. So it's like, all right, if that's how you feel, let's keep the same energy on fight night.
And that's 100% accurate. One second, Big E. That's 100% accurate. And when Fight Sports said disagree, completely nonsense. Because the facts are these guys have been bigger, have been longer than Canelo. Pause. So we already know what's going on with that. We already know height, reach, size, all this. When you go to different weight classes, it's about cutting weight. Can you cut that weight?
IBP, I'll explain that later when it's my turn.
Okay, you can do that. And my brother Edgar Moreno said it before, Manny Pacquiao and Canelo Alvarez don't fit the narrative. That's why they always can't do enough. Same people that call us racist seem to dislike the fighters that don't look like them. The real ones, no.
Ooh,
and so it looks like, Carlos, what my brother Edgar's saying is, look, man, they don't have the complexion for the protection. Is that what is going on, Carlos?
Thanks.
I mean, if you like this whole Pacquiao, disrespected Pacquiao is really crazy to me because this dude Pacquiao went up 8 divisions and had great fight in those 8 divisions. You know what I mean? Ain't like, people say, oh, but Crawford got undisputed. He got undisputed. All right, he went undisputed with a Ngannou. Who is Ngannou? You know what I mean? At least Pacquiao fought the Marquez, the Cottos. He fought everybody. You know what I mean? His resume speaks for himself. You know what I mean? But, he lost. He got knocked out. They discredited him. They say he's trash. You know what I mean? Which is really disrespectful because he was a champion to the people. You know what I mean? And about the Benavidez Canelo, I just find it wild. Like when Mayweather was fighting with the Andre Bertos and the McGregors, nobody was saying nothing. He could have fought the Keith Thurmans and the Paul Williams. Now that Canelo has the position to fight who he wants, now is the uproar. You know what I mean?
I mean, look, man, people just don't keep the same energy. We never even seen Floyd Mayweather go undisputed. Floyd Mayweather didn't duck so many fights. But one thing I will tell you is this. My brother Big E said this, is that, hey, look, he believes Canelo ducked him, but he don't believe that if Bivol passes on this opportunity, it's not a duck. Ashley Knuckles, do you believe the same thing? Do you agree? Do you agree with Big E? Do you believe if Dimitri Bivol say, and they end up throwing the belt away,
if Dimitri Bivol follows the Turk, which ain't his manager, which is nobody but somebody who puts up money. If he follow him and give up his belt just to follow him to have a rubber match, then he's a duck. A super duck sauce without the soy sauce. Let's just get that. Let's just get that correct right here and there. Secondly, I just got something else to debunk. Your man Suleiman put the mandatory on Bivol, not Benavidez. He just said he's not taking no step aside money. So let's not put that on Benavidez like he's the one that came out and just dropped the mandatory on your boy Bivol when Suleiman did. So we could get that one straight.
All right, Ashley. Anything else you want to add to that?
Oh no, I mean I'm good because right now it's TikTok. April 8th is right around the corner. Somebody got a decision to make. Either fight or give up the belt.
Wants to say
Either fight or pull out that bottle of duck sauce without the soy sauce. That's all I'm saying.
Damn.
Well, so I'm here to right now. I'm here to hear how pussy David is and who he ain't gonna fight and everything else. So proceed. I'm here to listen.
Hey, I got a question for Big Ego. Quick question. Well, hey, because David, he had Canelo all in his mouth. He was calling him crazy. You know what I'm saying? Had shirts, gear, all of that, and didn't activate his mandatory. Would you consider that a duck?
I mean, you hold on. Say anything. I couldn't hear you. What you say?
So he was running his mouth about Canelo, had merch and everything, but never activated the mandatory. Would you consider that a duck?
That was a couple years ago, wasn't it?
No, that was very recently.
That was last year.
You talking about when he decided to move up to 175. Is that what you alluding to?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think it was like last month we had the same kind of conversation. My response to you is that no, it's not considered a duck. David Benavidez has been calling on Canelo for a while when he was at 168. Now everybody knows way before he decided to move up to 175 that David Benavidez could no longer make 168. He was struggling. There was reports coming out of camp that he was struggling to make 168, and he was already contemplating about moving up to 175. Canelo,
he would be a hypocrite, because if that was the case, wouldn't that be more of the reason why you would activate your mandatory to fight him?
The thing is this.
Body bag. What are you talking about?
Bro, you got to let me talk without. It can't be a body bag. You got to let me respond, bro. My thing is this, man. Canelo, he's in the back pocket with the WBC president. Suleiman. And my thing is Suleiman was playing games with David Benavidez. He kept leading him on, thinking that just keep winning at 168 and we gonna make that fight happen. And when that time came, when the negotiation time for him to exercise that mandatory or whatnot, David Benavidez wasn't stupid. He knew damn well if he stayed at 168, he still wasn't going to get the Canelo fight. Canelo is his own man. He's his own boss. Whatever Canelo decides to do is what the sanction bodies and all the promoters, that's what they cling to, whatever he want to do. David Benavidez wasn't stupid. He moved up to 175 because he knew if he stuck around at 168 any longer, it would defeat the purpose, because he knew damn well he wasn't going to get the Canelo fight regardless.
Okay. Hold on. I got a quick body bag for my brother E. Now, E, you know you my boy. I like you. You're a good dude, but this is a quick body, so you can go ahead and jump in the casket. So you said they knew they wasn't going to get the Canelo fight. You said they knew it wasn't going to happen, so they say, fuck that shit. We're gonna take our mandatory and we're going to go to 175. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they were going to move up to 175.
Correct. Yep. That's correct. Okay, I just want to make sure I got it. And so right before David was right before David had so literally weeks before David said, hey, I'm going to stay at 175 and not come back down to 168. Team David Benavidez on June 18th, 2024, stated they fully intend to sign an appeal letter keeping him positioned as Canelo's mandatory at 168. But they didn't do that. They said, weeks later, they asked for 2 extensions. The WBC allowed them 2 extensions, even though the mandatory was supposed to be called before March. They asked for 2 extensions and they gave it to him. So if they worked for Canelo, the WBC doing a lot for David. So they gave him 2 extensions, and his bitch ass still went up in weight and still said, I'm not coming back down, after just saying a couple weeks before, oh no, we've already talked about everything. According to Jose Benavidez Sr., we're ready to go. We're staying at 168 to exercise our mandatory against Canelo. So you're saying that he didn't, that he knew it wasn't going to call. 2 weeks before he made his decision, him and his team was like, no, we're going to stay here and fight Canelo. We know the fight can happen. So 2 weeks.
They needed time. They needed time. They need the time. They need the time to you know what I mean? You don't want to make a rational decision. Like they need the time to see. They need the time to see if it was any kind of possible way that they could get the Canelo fight at 168. So they didn't want to rush it. Okay, it's okay. You gonna hold that against him because he was buying more time to see if he can get the Canelo fight at 168.
Well, here's what they also said. Here's what Team Benavidez also said. They hope to get the fight made. And if we don't get the fight made, we're going to take the belt and then we'll fight our mandatory. Did they enforce their mandatory against Canelo and then take the belt from him and then fight whoever their mandatory? No, they never did any of that. So that proves that they're a liar. That's a quick body, sir.
And let me ask
you, taking the belt.
No, it's not, bro.
Their energy.
It sounded good. No,
let everybody get it.
Taking the belt from Canelo.
They said that they were going to enforce their mandatory. And they were going to snatch that belt up off him. 2 weeks later, they say, nah, fuck that. We're going to 175. We don't want that.
Big E,
get the fuck out of here. That's a body bag.
You know what they fail to realize, Big E? The man does say he won 150 to 200 million, which means so basically this is basically what Nuke and I'm saying. If he would have put out his mandatory, that would have forced Canelo to either fight or drop his belts, right? Now, if he would have dropped his belts, now if he's telling you, I want 250, I want 200 million to 150 million. Regardless what the fuck WBC was going to say, whether they was going to mandate him, he wasn't going to fight him unless they come up with that type of money. So you don't think Canelo would have dropped that belt like he did with Triple G?
No. Nobody's arguing that Canelo may or may not have dropped the belt.
If he didn't want to fight him, just like when he didn't want to fight Triple G, what the fuck he do? He dropped his belt.
Hold on, fellas. Team Benavidez said out of their mouth, they're going to make him drop the belt if he don't fight them. And we're gonna take his shit from him. Did they do that? Yes or no?
That's not. Listen, that's not what David wants. David wants to beat him up. He don't give a fuck about the belt.
Because they never did it. They
don't care about the belt. He wants
to do what they were supposed to do. Okay, that's really what it is. With Canelo that they got with Dimitri Bivol. See what Bivol? Unlike what you said, Ashley, I was gonna hold on, Ashley. I was gonna let you slide. Like Ashley don't know what fucking talking about. I'm gonna let you slide. But no, hold on. You know what? I'm gonna check that. So now, Ashley, you gonna make me just check all this shit. So he made his opportunity to enforce that mandatory. He did. David picked 75 and not 68, and he didn't just pick it in June and July of last year. This bitch moved up to 75 before March when it was supposed to come due. I bet you didn't know that shit either. Never been the same for Canelo that it has been for Bivol or anybody else.
Listen, man, he's tired of playing on the middle school. On a middle school playground, he don't went to the high school playground up to 175.
Let me go to the big stepper real quick.
You don't want to stay with the cowards,
my brother.
Hey, Ashley, they know all the red flags, bro.
Like your boy Money Brown said. Remember that quote? He dared to be great. Who started that quote? When Bivol beat the fuck out of Canelo, that's when I quote him out. He dared to be great. It's okay. He wasn't the one saying he lost, but he dared to be great.
Hold on.
Y'all remember that?
Let me ask you a question. No, that's okay. Let me ask you a question. Did Canelo
am I right or am I wrong? Let's not say
okay. Let me know. Hey, Nuke, you sound rattled, Nuke. Hey, Nuke, you sound rattled, man. You getting body bag on your own channel, man.
Hey, yo,
Did Canelo move up 3 weight classes or no?
Man, zip it up. He's been body.
Big body bag. Big body bag. Dump him in that bitch. You heard me? Dump him in that bitch.
This is a completely different argument. I want to respond to
what it's a body bag because Canelo moved up into challenging undefeated prime pound for pound fighter. That's a body bag. That's a body bag. How is that? Make any sense?
I'm listening, E.
Ashley, no, because I'm going to tell you something. Canelo fans.
No, I got a question for Ashley.
Oh, my God. Let me talk, my boy.
Real quick, Ashley. Did Canelo move up 3 weight classes to fight Dimitri Bivol? Yes or no, my brother?
You said did he move up?
I'm asking you a question. Yes or no? Did Canelo move up 3 weight classes to fight Dimitri Bivol?
If you want me to answer a question, just listen.
I just asked you.
But you got to put concept to the answer. You just can't say yes.
Concept.
You just can't say yes and leave out the concept. You can't just say yes and leave out why.
I'm asking yes or no. Did he move up 3 weight classes? Yes or no?
I'm not answering that if I can't tell you why he
So
did it.
that's
You
a
just want
body
me to say
bag.
yes or no,
You
so
don't
you can be
want
like,
to
that's
jump
a
in the
body bag.
casket. I'll
Nah,
put your ass in the casket.
no.
I'll put your ass in the casket.
Nuke,
I
hey,
just
just
promised
face it,
you
man. You got
that.
body
People
bags on your
are
house
busy.
show, man. It's
They
okay.
don't want to keep
It's
the
okay.
same
You got to
energy.
take. Go ahead.
I got to
Go ahead,
respond to
Biggie.
Street.
Canelo moving up to fight
listen.
Dimitri
Go ahead,
Bivol
Biggie.
is an actual sign of greatness. That's not
Man,
Canelo. Was it? Hold on, fellas. You got to be quiet real quick. Canelo, somebody using the phrase "daring to be great," moving up multiple weight classes when they have quiet. When they have very little to no chance of winning, it's very different from Canelo moving up one weight class, and he's not even in it for a money grab. The Dimitri Bivol fight for Canelo was not a money grab. It was a legacy fight, dumbass.
Listen, man,
That's a body bag. What are we talking about? So Canelo
I would say daring to be great.
So Canelo's doing
Daring
like
to be
Terrence
great will
Crawford
work
when he
more.
moves up for a legacy
Nah,
fight.
no.
It's not even going to be the biggest payday of his career.
Hey, Nuke, you rattled,
ever
Nuke.
heard.
Hey, Nuke, we got you shaking, man.
Big E, you might as well change your name to Low E because that was a Hold on, fellas. Hold on.
When you come from 147, 154, all the way up to 168,
hold on 1 second.
that's daring to
Can I
be great.
respond to
Hold on. 1 second. I promised the Big Stepper that he would be able to get his point in real quick because he hasn't got it yet. And Big Stepper, you got yours, my brother.
All right, so this how I go, right? So when people can say, oh, he got his ass whooped by Bivol, all this, right? Bivol got the W, salute to him. But at the same time, when Canelo was fit to fight Bivol, nobody was giving Bivol his respect, none of that shit. Everybody, oh no, he's ducking Benavidez. Oh no, he's ducking Charlo. Oh, he's ducking this fighter. He's going to fight Bivol. Oh, Bivol was just a walking. A lot of motherfuckers were screaming Bivol was a walk in the park until he won that fight.
Oh, money. Did they say he was a cherry pick too?
Big Stepper, that's...
Hold on, Fight Sport. Hold on. You're going to get yours in 1 second. Money, what they saying he was a cherry pick too?
A cherry pick, or it's a cherry pick gone wrong. It's a cherry pick. And not only that, bro. When we talking about Benavidez and we talking about the money, because people keep talking about, oh, he asked for 150 to 200 million. Benavidez team, his own manager said Canelo has worked the money. Not only that, people screaming,
body bag.
People screaming.
No, it's not, bro.
That's a body bag.
Hey, Nuke, you rattled, man.
Hold on. We're going to come right back to you, Biggie. I promise. We're going to get you and ask you right back.
I'm going to shut up. Now, everybody's screaming, oh, Benavidez is Canelo. That's the biggest fight. Benavidez, Canelo. They screaming that shit, right? So when Canelo come out and say, all right, y'all want me to fight the motherfucker, right? All right. And I'm with y'all. I believe Benavidez deserved to fight. I believe he deserved to fight. But when Canelo and announced, okay, well, give me X, Y, and Z for the fight, and the money has started to be given to him, then you got a lot of motherfuckers out there, oh man, he's not deserving of this, he's not deserving of that. When you got motherfuckers pockets are deep, all he's saying is let's go to the table, let's negotiate, right? 150 to 200. That just means give me an offer. Nobody came back offering him shit, but all y'all keep hearing is, oh, he's pricing himself out. Oh, he don't want the fight. But nobody came, right, with the deep pockets and sat down and try to offer him anything for the Benavidez fight.
But hold up,
you know why?
Your boy just say,
hold on. Money's a distinguished guest on the panel. I gotta go ahead and get this one off. Now, Money Brown. They say Canelo Alvarez is making $100 million for fighting William Skull by himself. What do you think about that? Does that kind of show you that he's deserving of $250 for David if William Skull is worth $100 million?
Hell no, because Turkey's the only dummy that's giving up that kind of money.
Turkey, that's the only motherfucker.
Paying that money. Ain't none of the sanctioning bodies paying for that money.
Hold on, fellas. Who did David Benavidez get on his knees and beg for the money to fight Canelo? Who did he beg?
He didn't beg nobody because obviously
he was begging all on social media. Turkey, please drop them nuts off in my DM.
IBP, that's false.
So I can get this Canelo
IBP, that's false. IBP, that's false.
That's facts. That's
if
facts.
that's the case,
now I got to get to Fight Sport. Fight Sport. David Benavidez never wrote a social media post asking Turkey Al-Sheikh to make the fight.
Okay.
Yes or no, Talk Sport?
Hold on. No.
Did Canelo say he had never kissed the ring? Yes or no, Luke? Did Canelo say he would never kiss the ring, Luke?
Actually, be quiet. Can I respond? Okay.
Yes or no?
He did not get on his knees, as you
No,
say,
no, no.
because
I don't need the semantics. Yes or no? Did he write him a social media post or not?
You're arguing semantics. You're arguing semantics.
I'm asking you a direct question. Did he write him a social media post to make the Canelo fight?
He did.
Body bag. That's all I need to hear. That's
not
what I'm saying.
Hold on, that is not a body bag if I can't
This is the problem that I'm having with everybody. This is the problem I'm having with everybody. When I make a point, guys are so reluctant to admit the truth. They're holding on to it because he did write a social media post. But you feel sad that I said he got on his knees. He did get on his knees. He went begging. That's begging.
Hey,
That's begging.
I ain't got time.
And then I didn't body
Canelo
bag
say
with
he's
their
not
own
going to kiss the
information.
ring?
That's all
Did
this
Canelo
is.
say he's not going to kiss the ring?
Actually, hold on. Actually, hold on.
He had the cheek meat
I haven't
in
got
his
to
mouth.
2 people. I haven't got to a couple people on the panel.
Hey, Ashley, Newbie getting bodied.
One second, fellas. 1 second. We're going to get to my brother Preem, Hit Kid, Carlos, part 3, and we're going to get to Ashley and Big E and Fight Sports again. Preem,
you know
what's
they
up,
gonna
my
leave
brother?
us
What do
last,
you
so we
think
could
about
forget
everything?
Yup.
You know
It's
they
a
gonna
channel,
leave us
bro.
to last.
We been eating them, bro. We been eating them.
I gave you a chance to talk.
Hey, yo, fellas, what's going on?
1 second. You got to make sure everybody get respect.
Hey, yo, what's going on,
The
fellas?
floor is yours, Preem.
What's going on, fellas?
How you doing,
What's
Frank?
good?
How y'all doing,
you
my
ready,
brothers? Y'all
dog?
good?
What's up,
we
brother?
doing
I've
good.
been out for a
Good to
while,
see
man. I'm hearing everything that's going on. You know what I mean? And it's true on the Benavidez shit when he tried to beg for that fight. You know what I'm saying? He wanted the Alice Sheik meat in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? I get it. He wanted that bread. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying? He want that bread. He want that bread.
Preem. Did
But
Canelo,
and also
did Canelo
another
say
thing.
he's not
Somebody
gonna,
said,
did Canelo say he's not going to bend
somebody
over
said
and
that
kiss the ring?
Ashley, let him get this off real quick.
Somebody said that. I thought I heard somebody say Bivol was a cherry pick gone wrong.
Yeah, that's what they were saying before the fight.
No. Bivol he's a great fighter. See, this is the problem when you don't know the European fighters. Listen, when nobody looks at the European fighter, now let me show you what boxing is about. If you don't sit down and watch boxing when a dude is 2-0 on TV and it's free, and you just bypass that, you're not a fucking boxer, bro. I watch people here that get on TV that's free. I'm in the gym with my son and the people that are growing up. Let me tell you, you got to watch boxing from beginning to end. My son put me on the Bivol for a while back. I said, man, this guy's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But I never knew who he was. And then I even know him more when he started fighting Canelo. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna fight Canelo. This not gonna be that easy. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's saying cherry pick that he could have won the Benavidez. Bivol was a much harder fighter than that. A way harder fighter than him. More technique, more everything than Benavidez. So my man wanted to challenge himself. He was not a cherry pick at all. So let's get that right. You know what I'm saying? We gotta respect all these European fighters too, man. They got game, they got skills, man.
Well, Preem, the interesting thing is they said, oh, Canelo daring to be great, trying to compare it to Terrence Crawford, which was the dumbest analogy I've ever heard. And then I heard somebody say, oh, but that's a body bag because I'm a co-signer because I'm about the same nut. That didn't make any sense. And the reason why it didn't make any sense, hold on, Ashley, we're going to come right back to you, my brother. And the reason why it didn't make any sense is because Dimitri Bivol statistically was top 2 best defensive fighters in the sport. But they don't know boxing. They don't know these things.
They don't know that. Nobody knew that.
They don't know these things.
Exactly. They don't know these things at all. They only know the now. The now. It's the now. When the upsets happened, they were like, oh man, cherry pick gone wrong, but nobody knew who Bivol was.
Hold on,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Preem, can we rebuttal that?
I'm gonna come right back to you. I gotta let Hit get his off real quick. My brother Antonio Garcia said the knuckles virus is in full effect. Antonio Garcia also says Ashy Knuckles, Big Knuckles, Fight Sports Knuckles, ladies and gentlemen, clowns.
Oh man.
That's it. So he done pretty much covered everybody. Salute to my brother from another mother, Antonio Garcia. Now I gotta let Hit Kid take the floor. Fight Sports Talk. Ashy and Big E, they can share the floor together because they seem to like just they seem to be with each other.
I'm not a hero. I'm gonna let you know, right? No.
The new three
Can I speak? I've waited my turn.
Uh-oh.
I'm not here about fucking Canelo Benavidez today. I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not here for the argument. I've got 2 fucking things which I need to get off right now. I've been pissed over 2 issues this weekend. Okay?
Let's hear it.
One which was very public, which Fight Sports knows about, Nuke knows about, and all that. So, let's start there. Who watched Farmer versus Zepeda 2 this past Saturday?
Man,
I did.
I have it.
We did.
Zepeda's performance was bad.
So let me go off on this. Farmer hurts his hand in round 2. Hurts his arm, hurts his left arm in round 2. You can clearly see he hurts his arm and he's struggling to throw it all fight. He injures his. I don't know what the diagnosis was, but it's clear he hurts it. Okay, and he hurts it in round 2 quite badly. Okay, he's struggling to even carry it. Zepeda can't even take this man out while he's one-handed for most of the fight. For like, what is it? Round 2, and it's a 12-round fight, guys. 10 rounds.
Zepeda's a bum.
And here's the worst part. Zepeda gets dropped in round 10. In round 12. Should have been called a knockdown, that shot. That shot should have been called a knockdown from Farmer. No, I had Zepeda win the fight by unanimous decision because that wasn't called a knockdown and all that. But here's what got me, because I was trashing Zepeda for this performance, saying, my God, you're struggling, to take out a one-armed Tevin Farmer. This guy is food for Shakur Stevenson because that's the fight they want to make. They want to make Zepeda Shakur. I think Shakur absolutely beats the dog shit out of him. Guess what reply I got off a few Mexican troll accounts, a few Mexican fans? Oh, they didn't like me. I was getting called the M-word, and as you can all see, I'm white as shit. I was getting called the M-word and all that, and I have to apologize now, ladies and gentlemen. I was the honorary member of the LDBC this past weekend. It seems.
Damn.
Hold on, real quick. They were being very disrespectful to Hit Kid for no reason and bringing racist language and tones into things that it didn't even need to be into that.
Yeah, and I'm trashing Zepeda. I'll let go on, fight.
Go ahead, fight for it.
Well, no, I just want to say on this particular note, this is one of the worst things in boxing. I think we can all attest to this because we critique fighters equally. Okay, we have disagreements, but because we critique fighters equally, you have people on both sides saying, "Oh, you're just racist." You simply cannot be critical of somebody without being racist. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yes. No, I agree. And I will say it right now, Zepeda is food for Shakur. He better not fucking fight Keyshawn Davis. He'll get annihilated in that fight.
100%.
And listen, we don't know what's going on with Lomachenko and the IBF title. Tank's maybe Zepeda's best shot, but I'd still edge Tank. Okay? But
the Benavidez fans are dropping.
Shakur has the power to keep Zepeda off of him?
What?
Do you think Shakur has the power? Knowing
Zepeda won't touch him.
He don't need no power.
He got distance control.
He don't have that great of a power. He don't have that great of a power either.
Let me be clear. Shakur maybe doesn't have the same power as Farmer, but Zepeda won't touch Shakur. And Shakur will pop his head all night and stop him.
Hell yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I got a problem. So Ashley rage quits like a bitch. So what Ashley Knuckles does is he don't want to wait his turn. He comes on here, defends David Benavidez, rage quits and leaves.
Yeah, that's good. We came on.
Big E comes in here, holds Benavidez nuts, rage quits and leaves.
Well, his fight stayed.
Yeah.
No. Fight Sports not a part of that nonsense. Fight Sports has his own
I didn't actually. I commented on the post. I was like, "Can we not talk about Canelo Benavidez?" And
I want to go on my second. I
I got something to say about this weekend too.
Sorry, can I just say one last thing?
Oh, go on.
Sorry, just last thing on Zepeda. The biggest concern I had is that because if you haven't got knockout power and you're a weight bully, okay, you can't help it. But he cannot cut off the ring against Tevin Farmer, who had his hand broken in the third round and has seen better days. That is the worst part.
And Shakur will dance around him and beat the shit out of him.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it gets worse. It gets worse. Now I'm pretty certain this is a bot account, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I had a Bud fanboy in response to Nuke's video from earlier today.
Oh no!
Oh yes! And by the way, I don't think he'll be in the chat right now. But if he is, I know it's probably a troll account. But Kevin Herron Jr. Get this! I say Manny is so this is my response to Nuke's video. Manny is an all-time great fighter. This embarrassing by Bud, of what he's saying about Pacquiao. Pac-Man's never failed a drug test and has done more than Crawford in the sport of boxing. Look at the resumes. I think we can all agree. If you look at the resumes, one clears the other, certainly. If anyone
Absolutely.
disagrees on that panel, speak
No question.
up now.
No question.
Okay, here's what he said. This is Kevin Heron Jr. And if you are in the chat, Kevin, I am calling you out, but I think you're a troll account, so you probably won't be here. You're probably someone's burner. Pac's best names either beat him, were old, or Floyd's leftovers, and Bud would have slept him. So, prime Pacquiao or prime Bud Crawford? Who are we all taking?
Me personally, I'm talking about a Manny at his absolute best. I'd pick Manny.
Yeah, Pacquiao.
That's what I mean, because he's probably saying, like, old Pacquiao. But if you're saying prime Pacquiao versus prime Bud, Pacquiao all day, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
If you just take Pacquiao at super featherweight, like Crawford, look, I'm a Crawford fan. I'll give my thoughts on his comments in a second, but his countering ability was not better than a prime Manuel Marquez. So Pacquiao would have definitely been touching him up.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
I hated Crawford's comments, by the way. I'm on about bitch, your resume, and I get he's 2-time undisputed and all that. Bitch, your resume is mainly the Errol Spence wing, as you're only ever 50.
One second. Edgar says Hit Kid is the real one. Supreme hit me up for NYC.
No doubt.
And we got Panty Sniffer on the live. What's up, Panty Sniffer?
Fuck.
Jesus.
Panty Sniffer.
Panty Sniffer, you there, my brother?
I think he clicked the link accidentally.
Yeah, he must have had Panty Sniffer.
Panty Sniffer is supposed to be here to debate Clavo.
Oh, okay.
Clavo's
waiting on Panty Sniffer to click the link. He said, "Give me a few minutes. I'm gonna jump off."
I'll substitute for Clavo. So what do you got to say? Get your ass on, Panty Sniffer.
Panty Sniffer, what's good, my brother? How are you doing?
Mucho silencio.
Who wanted to make the point also for this weekend in the fight?
I want to add
Carlos and then Park Street.
Real quick, I want to add something with this Pacquiao disrespect. I just find it crazy. Okay, Crawford, you're undisputed in 2 weight classes, but your resume is still trash compared to the great Pacquiao. Because at the end of the day, Pacquiao has 21 world champions in his record. You know what I mean? But
7
talk about
divisions.
Exactly. So it's like, this dude Panty Sniffer just left, bruh.
Yep. What did you want to say over this weekend, Carlos? Because
I gotta say this. If nobody gonna say it, I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna declare this.
Say that shit, Carlos.
Bro, Oscar Collazo is the face of Puerto Rico right now. I don't care about no Edgar Berlanga. Sander Staya still hasn't proved himself. This dude is proven, unified, and he is the best of his division. And Saturday night proves it that he knocked out Edwin Cano to the body. I believe
I saw that fight.
I believe Collazo has everything. He has body work. He has boxing skills. He's the complete package, and he can be undisputed in the minimum weight division. That's all I gotta say.
That's good. I saw that fight, bro. He's definitely making that 105 live, though. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Yeah, he's gonna make it live.
Exactly.
Golden Boy need to back him and put real thing into him and give him his own, show main event now next fight, giving a unification.
Mr. Wright says really Ashy Knuckles threw a fit because he couldn't defend his man. That's exactly
we got someone saying a troll account saying Casolo's a hype job.
Well, go ahead and click the link. I'll drop the link right here. We can go ahead and get into that. And then
someone's an idiot.
And then I didn't ask you guys this question. Park Street, who do you think wins, Xander Zayas or Sebastian Fundora? That fight's going to be mandated. It looks like everybody's all in alignment for that fight being made. It looks like that's going to happen.
It's going to happen. You already seen Xander on some cool shit though. After the fight, it was cool, but he wanted that face off with him. But Fundora's little sister got in the way. Was like, nah, he ain't got to do no face off. But it was too late. They already gave each other that, and Xander sized him up already. You know what I mean? So Xander right now, and just for y'all get the 411 right now he's in training doing that against. He's gonna fight him. Obviously, he's the mandatory, but he's using guys that are his height, his size in training. Just to let y'all know, that's what he's training with, tall guys like that. So Xander got the goods to get in there. Listen, if Tim Tszyu tapped that ass if it wasn't for that damn rainfall, you know what I'm saying? He would have won that fight. But I got Xander Zayas, not because he's Puerto Rican and because I'm Puerto Rican, but I got Xander Zayas chopping that tree down, knocking him on his ass.
On his
ass.
What do you think, my brother?
I agree. I was gonna say, if he gets some dudes in there, Xander Zayas, if he gets some dudes in his camp that can actually box and
that's what he's doing now,
and utilize distance, that's what Fundora can't do. So even if he does bring that to the table in this fight, he'll adjust to that, and he likes to fight close. Xander Zayas, you can't go toe to toe with him. You have to box a guy like that. And so with that being said, I think he's going to knock out Fundora if Fundora doesn't make those adjustments. I got Xander Zayas.
Good point, Park Street.
Now, Park Street, let me ask you this. Who wins a fight? Who at 154 can beat Bakram Murtazaliev?
Ooh, I got one.
If anybody.
I got one.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I got two.
I think Jermell Charlo. I don't think none of them dudes can really fuck with Charlo like that when he's on his game. Me personally.
I can't say that.
Okay.
I can't say that.
I got two. I think.
I wanted to hear the Park Street. Sorry. Did you add another one, Park Street, before we go to fight?
Yeah, absolutely. Me personally, I think. Of course, Bud Crawford. Of course, I think he's up there. But no, I think Ortiz.
Okay. And about that, Charlo, we don't know what Charlo we get in. I
want to hear
it's still kind of iffy. You know what I mean? Because we gotta remember, hey, if Brian Castano gave him hell that first fight, what kind of Bakram? What kind of
Ortiz? I want to hear what fight has to say.
Fight sports. What do you think? Who were your two fight sports?
Well, it was actually the exact same as Park Street. I don't know about Jermell Charlo. I'm still very high on him, but we need to see what he looks like because he looks like he got comfortable after he got paid against Canelo. But Virgil, the one thing, and I've said it on this very show, the one thing that I wasn't, the reason why, yes, and people can clown me in the comments, I picked Madrimov to beat him is because of his recklessness. But he was very controlled against Madrimov. So I think, Bakram, his counter left hook was vicious against Tim Tszyu, but he still gets hit a lot. He still leaves his left hand down low, and Ortiz is improving. So I would pick Ortiz to beat him. About Xander Zayas, I'm not sure how far he's going to go, but the biggest thing I like is his confidence, and he's young.
Did I just see Ortiz is improving?
Yeah, I think Ortiz is still improving. Personally, I think Ortiz...
Supreme. What I mean by that is Ortiz showed that he was controlled with the way he was attacking Madrimov for 12 rounds. He was dealing with a very awkward.
I got you.
I got two.
N1 Baller says Ashy Knuckles is crying in his car making a victim video. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get right to you 1 second. Let me go to Money Brown real quick. Sorry, Money Brown. Who do you think the top dogs at 154 is? Because I know me and Park Street think that Charlo still is going to be a problem, but a lot of other people don't think Charlo's going to be that big a deal at 54. I still think Charlo's going to be a problem at 54. And how do you think Errol Spence, is he done or is he coming to 54 and make some noise? What do you think about all that, Money?
I'm still going to say Charlo because ain't nobody beat him, but he been out for a minute. So, out of sight, out of mind, bro. When you out of sight, out of mind, you lose value. So he got to come back quick. But, the top cat at 154, I still like Sebastian Fedora, right? He doing this thing. I know a lot of people looking at him, like he just tall, lanky, like he got lucky. Because some people thinking that Sebastian got lucky with, the Australian boy, but I don't agree with that. I feel like.
What? Hell no, that's cap. I'm gonna cap that. I'm sorry, I gotta cap that.
No, let Money finish real quick.
Let him finish.
A lot of people think he got lucky with Costa. They think he got lucky and shit, but I think 154 is still wide open, bro. With my dude EJ, to be real, that's my dog. I fuck with EJ, fuck with the family, man, got a relationship, but been out so long, bro, like. Been out so long after losing to Terrence Crawford, then you coming back saying you want to fight a world champion, these top shotters, not knowing how your body go react, not knowing how you go react, shit like that. He gonna have to get some tune-ups under his belt. You feel me? Some tune-ups. But I still think 154 is wide open, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. There's a lot of good champions out there. I can't really just pinpoint somebody as the top shotter because nobody like set that shit apart to me. You know what I'm saying?
And I respect that. And then I can also think that Jermell Charlo. Hold on one second. I also still think that in a weird way, Jermell Charlo still has to be the top dog because he really didn't lose on his way out.
Right.
Yeah. He's still good. I give him.
I agree with.
Hey, I got one fighter that no one has mentioned though. Is a sleeper. Hey man, I think people sleeping on Charles Conwell. That dude.
Nah, Charles Conwell can crack. I like him. He can crack, bro. Like,
he's good.
I got a few things to say.
Okay. Oh, Hit got a little smoke for money or what? Hit?
Oh, okay. First things first. I'm only going to give a bit of smoke. I'm sorry, I completely disagree with you on the Fundora Sue fight. If it ain't for that court, Fundora's getting put to sleep. We all saw it. Those opening before the court opened up, Sue was finding him, hurting him, and would have gone on to stop him if it weren't for that accidental cut. I'm sorry, I totally disagree with you on that. No, I'll admit Sue got destroyed by Backroom. I'll fully admit that. I know Sue's fighting a comeback fight this weekend. I was shocked by that. It happens. It's going to be interesting to see how Tim Sue comes back. Here's what I'm going to say. I actually think Jermell Charlo, and this is going to shock everyone, I think Jermell Charlo shouldn't go to 154 because he'll be weight drained, after doing that 168 thing. When we have seen fighters in the past return to the weight divisions or go into a heavier weight, I think of Roy Jones Jr., if you all remember that. And how that ended up. I don't think he should do that. If I was Jermell Charlo, I would go to 160 if you can't do 168. That's serious.
And
that sounds good, but I'm still going for Ortiz.
No. Because I will say this right now. Jermell Charlo versus what's his name?
Landy Lara.
Versus, I mean, that's an in-house PBC combat fight you can build immediately, and then the winner, and then you try and push the winner onto an Adames unification while still avoiding Janabek.
But the reason I say Ortiz is because he's like a young, hungry lion.
I think Ortiz.
You know what I mean? I think he has a lot. He has a lot to prove. Like he has a lot to prove. Like he wants to prove that he is the best in that division.
I like Ortiz as well, but he don't got no defense. I think his defense, his offense is fucking a superb. But I think Ortiz get hit a lot, and if he go up against somebody that can take a punch and they can crack his ass, I think he gonna have problems.
Ortiz in 154.
Yeah, but he has a fighter.
No, I'm asking Money Bone a question. Money, who do you pick to beat Ortiz at 154?
I like to see him and Jermell Charlo go. Like I know you saying Tim Jermell stay at 160.
That would be a great fight.
I like to see Jermell Charlo come back.
I would agree it'd be a great fight.
Yeah,
that'd be a good fight.
And it's a Texas fight too, so they can promote it. You know what I'm saying? Houston versus Dallas, so they can promote it like that. But I like to see, I do like Ortiz, but I like to see him and Jermell Charlo get it at 154.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sports talk.
Can I go?
Go ahead.
So something which though, I'm just thinking for Jermell's career. Okay, that's all I'm thinking of. Okay, I think that Ortiz is the best at 154 right now. I'm sorry, I'm not on the Fundora train at all. No, him and Zayas. No, let me be clear. I'll be more on the Fundora train if he does very well and beats Zayas. That's a real proving ground fight for not only Sander Zayas, but also Sebastian Fundora. Because I still said, and it was on the, and you remember the night of the fight when Fundora won the belts, I said that was the biggest fluke I've seen in recent boxing. And I have called him that.
I didn't like that the WBC just added their belt to make it a unification. I didn't like that.
I said it was a fluke, and I still stand by that. But here's the deal. If Fundora demolishes Zayas, I think that's a 50-50 fight, by the way, because we've not seen Zayas step up to that level, and I think it's a fair to call that a 50-50 fight.
Don't get me wrong, I'm Puerto Rican, and I'm I still got, I'm like, damn, man, Zayas, you haven't fought a 12-round fight. This will be your first 12-round fight.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm 50-50.
But I gotta root for him because, it's either now or never. You know what I mean? He's motivated.
It's either going to prove me opinion about Fundora, or Fundora's going to impress me and shut me up a bit. That's what
we know what Fundora can do. Now we're going to find out what my man
Hold on, Money. The frustrating thing about Fundora, which is so you just feel like he's never going to improve. He's never going to really fulfill his potential. Is that he's got all the athletic ability and coordination, but he just doesn't use it. And yeah, Tim Tszyu, half blind, was still, well, actually no, almost completely blind by blood, was still able to touch him up throughout that fight. So yeah, he's not. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to be the best guy in this division. Also, what Money said, I'm not just saying that. Well, I'm not saying this because I'm from the same part of the world, but yeah, Tim Tszyu was hard done by in that fight. Now, Tim Tszyu may be shot early, but as far as Jermell Charlo coming back, it just depends how hungry he is, because he was very happy to just run for 12 rounds. And sorry, Head Kid, just give me a sec. He was very happy to just run around for 12 rounds and collect a check against Canelo. And his undisputed run was very, very good. And I really liked the adjustments he made against Castano. But a lot of these guys, like Ortiz, like Jesus Ramos, who's coming up, like Xander Zayas, who's, again, very confident, like Bakram, these guys are a different style to the guys he beat. So we'll see.
There's an old name which we need to mention, by the way, if you want to give Jermell Charlo a big money fight immediately out the gate. And this is from 2 weeks ago, okay? And people ain't gonna like this.
Man, I got Barroso to beat everybody.
No.
Keith Thurman.
Jamel Charlo, Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman. I know you're gonna say Thurman.
Oh man,
Thurman.
I'm sorry.
Thurman just absolutely. If you watch that 2 weeks ago, Thurman absolutely demolished Brock Jarvis's shit.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'd rather watch Keith Thurman than Spence, man. I feel like they have unfinished history.
Yeah, let me go to Money on that one. Money, who you got, Keith Thurman or Spence, or you just want Spence to take that tune-up first?
Oh, Spence.
Because right now, if Thurman fights Charlo, I'm picking Charlo by knockout.
100%.
Is Keith Thurman considered?
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Thurman is Spence. It'd be a 50-50 to me, bro. Like that, because Thurman he just had a fight. He's more active than Spence. Spence coming off the Terrence Crawford loss. You know what I'm saying? Like he been out for so long. And that's my dog, but you never know once you get, and Thurman can crack. So if you get your ass cracked, how do you react? You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of things that go into that. You feel me? But you still, like, Earl's still a hell of a body puncher. Like, even in the Terrence Crawford fight, he didn't look himself to me, right? We got a little few things that we can put out there, but I'm not going to make no excuse because he ain't. But, you know, he got to come back. He got to be as hungry as he was, and you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And the way my dude talking, I don't think like it's hard as in the game no more. So I'm gonna say it's a 50-50 fight, you know, and I gotta give Thurman his just doing this credit, because one thing about Thurman, I'll say this: the first 6 rounds against Keith Thurman, against anybody, if Thurman is Thurman, the first 6 rounds against anybody is gonna be the toughest fight of your fucking career, because to me, he's a 6-round fight. He starts slowing down after 6, he starts trying to box you, but the first 6 rounds, Keith Thurman gonna give your ass hell and hot water. So if Earl can withstand those first 6 rounds and not get cracked with something hard that can make his ass go back into the the Terrence Crawford fight, he give himself a great chance down the stretch.
Why do you want to see two old fighters who are washed up? And okay, look, I was a huge fan of Keith Thurman, but
you mean former champions?
He's been well. These guys are washed. These guys are washed up, and Spence damn near he shouldn't be anywhere near it. Yeah, but they've got heart, but Spence shouldn't be anywhere near a ring. I mean, he doesn't even have a trainer at the moment. And
I wouldn't mind to see Spence fight him. Well, I wouldn't even mind to see that.
Hold on, let Money answer this one. I want to hear what he got to say about this, because this is going to be interesting.
Go ahead, say it again.
Fight Sports. What was your question to Money?
Well, I was just asking him why he wants to see 2 guys who are past their best. But I understand Supreme wants to see the fight as well, but I just don't see the appeal of watching 2 guys who are well past their best, who are washed up. Spence damn near almost got killed against Crawford, and it's just, to me, it just seems like
that was it, though. I mean, that wasn't a bad fighter. I'm saying, I want to ask the question: Spence lost how many times in his life?
Once.
Who he lost to? Who he lost to? Let's get it correct.
Pound for pound, top dog,
a great fighter.
Crawford.
Okay. So that makes him washed up.
Yeah, who did Keith Thurman?
Hold on. Can I respond to that?
Did y'all see? I'm just gonna give it a symbol.
Hold on, before I respond, I want to hear what Money said, because I couldn't get that one up. What were you saying, Money?
No, I was gonna say, like, we seen way worse of people come back and fight.
That's what I'm saying.
So when we looking at Keith Thurman, like we just said, Keith Thurman just came back, had a hell of a win on his belt, And one thing about Errol Spence, right? His first fight back is going to generate. So everyone want to see what do he look like after the Turnbull Crawford fight. Is he still Errol Spence? Should he hang it up? Should he do this? So everybody gonna be. It's intriguing to see what is Errol Spence going to look like. Because remember, before the Terence Crawford loss, Earl was doing great on pay-per-views. He was selling tickets. He was putting asses in the seats. So he still has a fan base out there, and there's still a lot of people out there that want to see what do Errol Spence look like after the Turnbull Crawford fight. But like my man say, he took one loss. He took enough time off to heal from that. You know what I'm saying? So of course you don't have a trainer or anything right now. But let's not just make it like he just done and washed up. Like
right.
I said,
and I just want to add
the reason is a dangerous fight though.
The reason, sorry, Carlos, just one sec. The reason why I'm saying he's washed. The reason I'm saying he's washed up is because one of the things that Errol Spence really needed to be successful as he was his punch resistance, and his punch resistance is gone. Like he won't be able to take any punches after that Crawford loss. So that's why I'm saying, and also that is one of the most one-sided losses you'll ever see in boxing. So that's why I say he's washed up.
Hey, Fight Sport.
Hold on one second. Fight Sport, do you think that the weight had anything to do with his punch resistance being an issue? Like, if he's at 147 and he stayed there too long, maybe 54, that'll be different because he's able to be able to not be as, if he was weight drained, to not be that way at 54. Do you think that would make a difference for his punch resistance?
No, I don't think it'll make a difference. Now, weight drain, blowing up and down in weight and weight draining himself to 147 definitely did not help. But the damage in the Crawford fight was so bad that I don't think getting hit by bigger guys at 154 is going to help.
And also, I want to say this: Fight Sport. And another thing, why I'm more interested in the Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, because when I weigh it out, they both have one losses in the record. You know. Errol Spence lost to a great Crawford. Keith Thurman lost to Manny Pacquiao, a great fighter. After that, you know, not only that, Keith Thurman has been plagued with injury after injury after injury. So, you know, it's really anyone's win. You know what I mean? Whoever comes, you know what I mean?
Hold on, one second. We're gonna go to money. Z, I see you. Z, you're next after money. Then we're going to get to Clavo and Edgar Moreno. The only thing I wanted to say was Desiree put this. Clavo needs to be deported. I don't know why.
Oh, wow.
But I'm going to let Clavo handle that. I'm sure Clavo going to have some energy for that. Money Brown, did you want to just answer this real quick, what Fight Sports said about Errol Spence punch resistance?
Yeah, the thing about punch resistance, bro, look, okay, the punch resistance was bad on that night. I'm gonna be real with you, bro, because I'm like, God damn, EJ, that was like a fucking tap jab he going down. But the thing was, he was out 16 months prior to that fight. When the fight was supposed to happen, Turnbull Crawford switched gears. He went and fought on fucking BLK Prime to get another bag. Errol Spence sat out 16 months, which was bullshit to me, right? But you know, being out two years and some change. You know, your body heal up. You know, you get right mentally, you get right physically, things of that nature. So I can say mentally, you can tell Errol Spence is in a good space. He's like the ass whooping he got that out the system. It's different with trying to jump right back in the ring after taking the ass whooping. But after sitting out a couple years, you know, letting everything die down, things of that nature, letting the body heal up the right way. It can be a different story. Like you say, coming up to 154, it can be a totally different story because he was supposed to then move up from 147. But, you know, it's yet to be seen. Is the punch resistance there? Is it not? You know what I mean? We've seen some incidents. We've seen a few incidents that he was in to where he got hit and he stood up. But, you know, it just come down to the shots that you get hit with. Do you see the shit coming? Do you don't see it coming? So it's yet to be seen, bro. So I'm not just going to say his punch resistance is not there. I'm not just going to throw him out the window like that. But if you get in there and you get hit with a shot and you go down, then we can say that. But, you know, it's yet to be seen with me.
Well, money. Look, just for the people in the chat. Hold on 1 second. For the people, 1 second. The people in the chat that are asking, is that Money Brown? That is the big stepper, the one and only. Yeah. Finish up Fight Sport. Then we're gonna go to Z.
Yeah, Money. I like Errol Spence, so I hear what you're saying, but I just feel like some fighters, especially when you're not a defensive specialist, which Spence never was, when you get beaten up like that, for me, I just can't see him coming back. So it's the same as Wilder Joshua for me. I just don't really have any interest. But hey, different folks for different folks.
Okay, hold on. I got Z on the panel. What's up, Z, man? Talk to me, my brother. Any topic you want, man, just jump in the conversation, my brother. Tell me what's on your mind.
Let me tell you, Dwayne Styles, check your Instagram, bro. Check your Instagram, Dwayne.
Dwayne, check your Instagram. Check your Instagram, my brother. Z, what's up, my brother? Talk to me.
Long time follower, bro. Been watching you for years. Love the panel. You guys are always spot on. You said I could ask any random question, right?
Anything you want to talk about?
Shit, man. I just saw the interview with Crawford. I know we're gonna go back a little bit, but I've always felt like that. I don't know how he puts himself over like certain fighters. I don't feel like he's accomplished a lot or enough yet for him to be placed in one of the all-time greats yet. He does have certain fights, but I don't think it's enough for him to be there. And then he said that after he beats Canelo, he's going to be like top 5, I think is what he said, right?
Yeah, like top 3 or some shit.
Yeah, I'm like, it's kind of hard. And then I don't like how he talked down on Manny Pacquiao, not putting him in his top 10, where it's like there's only one 8 division champion in the history of boxing. And it's like, it's so hard to come across that, right? Like not many people can, and like how you said earlier, Nuke, your power kind of diminishes if you're coming from a lower weight class going to a higher weight class.
Exactly.
And you see that, you've seen that with his last fight. If he was if I mean, Crawford's great. No, I love Crawford and I love Spence. But like his power kind of diminished because he wasn't able to bully Madrimov, right, in his last fight. And I think that it's not good for Crawford going into the Canelo fight in September. Just because he's jumping 3 weight classes, right? And at the same time, it's like he's never proven himself there. What I remember watching on the YouTube video with him talking about, like, you know, the whole interview was like they asked him if he would it be a better fight for him versus Benavidez. He's like hell bent on getting a Canelo though. So it's like I don't understand the hate on Pacquiao. I don't understand the hate on Canelo. I don't understand the hate on certain individuals. But yeah, that's kind of my thing right now. So my question is, like, where do you guys put Crawford in all time? Top 10, top 20?
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Boy.
This is not going to be fun.
No, I know, but it's all right. I know, but like he also said that Spence is not a Hall of Famer right now, which is true too, right? But it made me question, like, well, where are you in the Hall of Fame? Has he done enough for him to be in the Hall of Fame?
He'll be in the Hall of Fame, but
he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame, but he's not going to be anywhere near top 50.
You know, Z, the reason why I said this won't be fun is because Crawford, look, nobody, okay, if you actually know boxing, and so I'm not just talking about the last 20 years, if you know boxing, Crawford doesn't belong in the top 20. Maybe top 25, but that's a bit of a push.
No.
And
the media is going to try to flip it into make it into he's the best welterweight of all time, but he's really not.
I know. I think all of us, IBP, I've never asked you this, but I think we all create our channels to an extent because the media is full of so much shit. And one of the things is,
agreed.
I mean, Crawford for me, I think at the absolute most, he's top 4 of this era. For me, the clearest best is Usyk, and I don't think his resume can even compare to Mayweather or forget Pacquiao, a guy who went through 8 weight divisions. Like, it's crazy. But the biggest problem with Crawford is that he cannot help but shoot himself in the foot so much. I'm a Crawford fan, but all the years that the best guys were at PBC and the PBC guys wouldn't fight him, he would say, and the biggest defense for Crawford was that he wasn't able to get these guys in the ring. Now he's a free agent and he's still fighting once a year. He didn't fight Staniotis, he didn't fight Boots after becoming the superstar of superstars, and he's sitting out waiting for a fight against Canelo, which he doesn't deserve. And what's worse is that he's dumping on other fighters for no reason. Like, this guy cannot help but shoot himself in the foot. It sucks as a Crawford fan.
I agree. And the one thing I'll add to that is the one thing, first, I can't even do this without the Clavo comment is fucking hilarious. But
shout out Clavo.
But the only thing I'll tell you this about Bud that he loses me is that even if Bud beat Canelo, let's just say he beat Canelo, that still don't make him top 3 because his resume is still very, very fucking thin. That's what I'm saying. The guy just has a hyper-inflated view of himself, and it's just something about him that he's losing me. And I'm a fan of Crawford. I've always been a fan of Crawford. It's very disappointing that he felt like he needs to shit on somebody else like Manny Pacquiao to make himself feel better. That don't make any sense. But let me get to Edgar and Clavo. Edgar, you first, then Clavo, and then we're gonna circle back around.
He wish he could be like Manny Pacquiao. That's a hating ass motherfucker, bro.
Yep.
Edgar, talk to me, my brother.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. We go to Clavo first. I don't know.
You want me to wait, Edgar? Or you got it.
He needs a second. You got it, Clavo.
Go on, take it, Clavo.
Goddamn, bro. Well, look, fuck, man. I'm over here fucking typing on Twitter with Panty Sniffer, or actually on Twitter, he's PBC the best. That's his username on Twitter. So we're supposed to have a debate. So he joined. I mean, I don't think I even did he even say anything?
Didn't say shit. He clicked the link, never said nothing to anybody on the panel.
Yeah, he clicked and he ain't say nothing. I said I would have took the debate for you, but he hauled ass.
And Preem tried to take the debate. Dude wouldn't even respond.
All right, well that's the Doug, man. Shout out to Liza, man, because that was basically all because of it was actually on her comment that we had to get into. It was all about Tank Davis, man. We already know where we stand when it comes to him, bro. Regardless. But man, bitch Desiree, bro. That's the third time. I don't know if y'all noticed, but that's the third time he or she said that I need to be deported. Bro, bitch, I've been deported and I came back, so it's all good. If they deport me, I'm gonna come back again. There ain't no issue with me. But regardless, man, there's Ashy and Big E fucking jumped out, man. I was actually trying to get at with them because they were talking that nonsense. I don't see where they were getting at, that they were getting body bags or that Nuke was rattled. That's not what the fuck I heard. Y'all just thought y'all had something going y'all's way, and it really wasn't, bro. But damn, bro, I was trying to be here, but I was trying to get this idiot to come in here, and now he's acting like he's at work, bro, or something. We agreed to this, bro. We agreed to this.
Clever, we already know that dude was gonna duck. Secondly, when it came to Ashley Knuckles and Big E, the reason why they both felt like they screamed body bag and said I was whatever they said I was, it really was this, man. They were shaking like booty meat in jail. That's what they were shaking like. and they didn't know how to respond to all the smoke I was getting out. So what they do is they try to talk loud and they got each other's backs. And, I'm like, don't go to sucking each other's cocks yet. Wait for the body bag. That's really what this was, man. Those guys don't even come with facts. They come with emotions and feelings. And then when I ask them a question, they can't answer it. They're stumbling over questions. I need to be able to explain. It's a simple yes or no. Exactly. Everything don't require a 10 fucking paragraph essay, bitch.
But one thing I didn't know, I don't know if y'all noticed this, man. But as soon as y'all started, getting on a different topic and no more David Benavidez, that's when they
exactly.
That's when they left.
That's what I was going to ask. Do these guys just follow the sport so they can hype up Benavidez? Because everyone knows my thoughts. I'm the one who disagrees with everyone on this, but I'm really happy to not talk about it because the fight's never going to happen. These guys just jump ship as soon as the topic changes.
Well, fight sports, you answer it for us because I mean you're standing on their side of the street more than our side of the street. Like we try to be logical and sensible about the situations at hand.
Yeah, and we disagree. We disagree. No
right.
problem.
Well, we can disagree. I mean, we don't necessarily have to meet halfway. We could talk to each other from across the street, but they just want to stay on that one street and they want to just not even fucking look the other way when they need to.
Fight sports stand his ground on any topic, bro. That's so I got to give
it. That's what I'm saying. Like fight sport, you tell us why they're like that. I mean, we know what we think, but you tell us what it is.
I don't know because again that's the first time I came on this very show was about that. You guys asked me, hey, what do you want to talk about, new guy? And I said Canelo's ducking Benavidez, but I don't. It's not the only thing I want to talk about, for crying out loud. Like I don't know how these guys have energy to just talk about that all day. It's like, doesn't that shit get tiring?
We gotta get
it does.
Dude, we gotta get
guys,
the winners.
Hey guys, did y'all hear about Deontay Wilder, bro? He's fixing to fight a 10 round with Tyrell Herndon, bro.
Yep.
The fucking mighty have fallen, bro.
Yep. Hey, Nuke,
yeah, so weird.
Hey, Nuke, my bad. I had to take a fucking work call real quick before. That's why I said give me a second. But if I can, I guess I just want to jump back into what I guess you guys were talking about, like I said it before I came on the live, Bud, the interview with Bud and all that stuff, it just, I mean, to me, it comes off as ignorance and like he's just talking out his ass. And again, Manny and Canelo don't fit the narrative, and that's why they get people say what they say, and people, they can never do enough. Manny Pacquiao did a lot more than Crawford has done in 2 fucking boxing careers.
Yeah,
and probably more, yeah. And then to touch base on what you guys were talking beforehand, like, is it worth it for Spence to come back and fight Thurman or whatever? I believe that every man deserves a second chance to show what he's made of. So I know that you guys are going back and forth saying, "Oh, we don't know what his punch output's gonna be, what his resistance is and shit." But the fact of the matter is, we don't know. We have to give him the benefit of the doubt. If he goes in there and he gets destroyed, then at that point it's a conversation between him and his family, and him looking in the mirror and be like, all right, this is not working out no more. We're done. But if he comes back and he looks great, then he sets himself up for maybe a couple more fights where he can benefit his family for the future.
I mean, doesn't he see what he's doing, bro? He's actually downplaying his own win against Spence, calling him you're not a Hall of Famer, not elite.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true
to be honest with you, I mean, look, I love me some Bud, bro. I love Bud, bro. That's one of my guys. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is that you've really never beaten an elite fighter before. Like, who the fuck was it? Because I know for sure it ain't Spence. So you downplaying Pac, a guy. This is a fucking legend. 8 divisions. This guy is he fucking went in there with Milk Dud. He fucking beat Oscar, Eric Morales, bro. Eric Morales, dog. This motherfucker, he's set, bro. He is gonna be known as one of the fucking top fighters ever. So I'm just saying, bro, where the fuck are we even getting that from? Are you just basically trying to? I think what it is, bro, he's just basically playing to the crowd. I think he's just basically trying to hype himself up, trying to get attention because he got this Canelo fight coming up. Now, do I think that this is his final fight? Yes, it is. I mean, bro, you're about to get out of here, bro. You about to turn 38, and you're fighting on that month that you're turning 38 here.
Exactly.
So are we going to continue? Or let's say you win. You go undisputed for 3, which is monumental. That's going to be, you're going to be, remembered as one of the top guys, quotes in all of history. But are you going to stay there? Are you going to defend the titles? What are you going to do after that? So this is really your cash out fight. You're looking for the money on this fight. You know you weren't getting nothing like this, nothing compared to what you're going to get with this fight.
And another thing I want to add, one thing I want to add about this, people love to glaze Crawford's undisputed. Oh, he's been undisputed twice. Man, that's cool and all, but he never defended his titles on undisputed. At least Canelo, at least Inoue defended their undisputed. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's fine. You know what I mean? But you didn't defend your 147 belts against Staniones or Bustanis. You know what I mean? That would have been great for your resume. You know what I mean?
Or the 140.
Or the 140, because right after Ngannou, you fought a Jeff Horn.
Yeah, and
one of the worst things, man. Y'all praise this man too much, bro. Y'all praise him too much, bro. Crazy.
And one of the worst things about it is that while sitting out waiting for a fight, which again he doesn't deserve. I mean, he's going to take almost a year off before this Canelo fight or more. He's trashing other fighters that have never said a bad word about him. Like Spence may have been critical of him in the past, but that's when they were about to fight each other. So yeah, of course you're critical. Pacquiao's never said a bad word about him, and he's dumping on him. Like Crawford's resume, even if he beats Canelo, it does, or at least right now, it doesn't compare to the 4 kings.
The reason he's trashing him, my brother. The reason he's trashing him, my brother, is because he can't even do half or a third of what he did. So yeah, he's gonna be mad. If you could say all you want, be like, "There." Can I ask you something, Crawford? Have you ever been an 8 division champion?
I
just want to ask him that question. You ask him that question, he's gonna be like, "Nah, but I'm this, I'm that. I'm this. I beat Earl. So what? You're not an 8 division champion. Don't be trash talking on people that set the way. You know what I'm saying? Set stones. Right. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't do that, man.
Sorry, money. If I could just
let me hear what money. I didn't get that money. What were you saying, my brother?
No, I was gonna say one thing about Manny Pacquiao, bro. Manny Pacquiao started so fucking young at like 16, beat world champions at 17, 18, like became a global superstar and that kind of. So that's, and I tell people this shit because people like to say, "Oh man, Manny Pacquiao was on this, bro." That man never got caught cheating on. I don't give a fuck what y'all speculated, what y'all trying to say. The man never got caught for nothing.
A fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, so that man got to get all the credit in the world.
I'll let fight go, but I want to go after fight. Go on, fight.
Well, not only that. I mean, regardless of how you feel about Pacquiao, is that if you're as close as Crawford is to Victor Conte, like don't be acting like everybody else is suspicious when you work close to the biggest PED cheat ever. Supreme, if I could just add to what you said, Supreme, like Crawford. You mentioned, Crawford hasn't done what Pacquiao did. Pacquiao, no champion who is really serious about achieving greatness. And again, I'm a fan of Crawford, so it hurts me to say this. Crawford downplayed every top challenger after he beat Spence. He downplayed Stanionis. He downplayed Boots Ennis. He's downplayed Virgil Ortiz. It's like you're making excuses to not fight the best, and you're saying you're top three. It's mind-boggling. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell you this, Bud Crawford. If you are watching, because I know you watch every other people's channel, I'm sure you're watching us. You're watching right now the IBFP, best channel there is right now in the whole YouTube era. Now, let me tell you something. If you are watching it, which I know you are, respectfully, sit your dumb ass down.
I agree. Can I have it? Can I have it?
Hey, kid, go ahead.
Crawford.
I want y'all to listen to this research I did on, and I'm sorry, I want y'all to listen because I had a little research.
What? Money cut out.
You cut out, Money.
Go on, Money. I'll let you finish your point, but then I want the floor.
I think he lost connection.
Guys, before y'all continue, I gotta ask y'all. I don't know if I heard y'all right, but please, I know I didn't hear y'all giving Keith Thurman props for fucking beating fucking Jarvis, bro.
No. I weren't giving him props. No, I weren't giving him props.
Nah, that's just more like a. It's more like a boost confidence.
No, Crawford, let me explain this because I brought that up. I was more like that'd be a perfect fight for Jamel Charlo's comeback fight at 154, or if Spence is coming back. That's all I was saying because Brock Jarvis is dog shit.
Well, yeah, no, I understand that, but the thing is, I actually give more props to who? Leon Pato. Leon Pato knocked his ass out on the first round, but ain't nobody giving him props. Yeah. Now we got a lot of people giving Keith Thurman props for doing a fucking third round stoppage.
I'm not giving Thurman props. I was just on about Clav. I was just on about potential fights at 154. That's all. But Crawford, fucking he. Let's be honest. We're all getting ready for his retirement party this September. He's getting battered. I'm gonna say this right now.
He is not beating Canelo.
I think Canelo is going to beat the dog shit out of Crawford.
Yep.
I mean, we hope so.
No. It ain't hope so. I want Crawford.
No. What I mean, Hickett, is
got something to prove.
What I mean is, like, I mean, just from my point of view, I hope Canelo just literally puts him to sleep. Like, whatever round it is.
I think the ref's going to stop it. I think the ref's going to stop it.
This is what's pissing me off with Crawford. He's doing this as a money grab. When, in my opinion, if you wanted to further your legacy, you should have stayed at 154. You're doing this for a cash grab to get out the sport. Oh my god, the fucking idiots in the chat. And everyone should see the idiots I'm on about. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, look at it. Oh, shit.
I'll dare him to get on with that fucking comment. What an idiot.
Mirage, go ahead and get in here, bro.
But the reason why I want Crawford to lose so fucking badly is because he shit talked Spence, after he battered him. Which, fair, I think you're allowed to do that. If you beat a guy, I think you're allowed to shit talk him. No disrespect, okay? I know it's a bit harsh, but I think it's fair. Okay, in the world of boxing, that's rivalries.
If you can shit talk before
But where I'm going to call cap is when you shit talk Hall of Famers who you've not fought, who you had a chance to fight. You like, even though Pacquiao was old, you still had a chance to unify against him, bud, and you never took it.
Like, that's what I wanted to get at. I think he's upset about that.
I'm sorry. I think you need to shut the fuck up. The disrespect to Manny was out of line. Focus on your own legacy first, bud, because we all think you're getting kicked, not the fuck out in September.
I want to add to that.
Go ahead, Carlos. Go ahead.
I think that's why Crawford is talking a lot of shit about Pacquiao and has this envious energy, because when Pacquiao beat Keith Thurman, I think he wanted that Pacquiao fight because the name Pacquiao, he could have sell. But that's all I wanted to say.
Well, no, I thought Keith Thurman was in line to fight Crawford, but Keith Thurman already had that Pac fight. Well, of course, you're gonna take the route with Pac-Man because that's a star, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're probably gonna get paid more with that. From what I remember reading is that there was gonna be a fight between Crawford and Keith, but Keith went ahead and stayed, continue to fucking pursue Pac-Man.
Which
because of the money.
Which you can't blame Thurman for.
Hold on, Clavo. Park Street got a
blame
question for you, Clavo.
Yeah.
Did Bud have a title at this time?
He had the WBO World.
Yeah, he had the WBO after.
Yeah, he had the WBO.
I think. Yeah, with Jeff Horn.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, look, bro, I don't think that Bud's really going into this Canelo fight thinking he's gonna knock out Canelo. More than likely, he's gonna try to win on points. He's gonna be turned from a boxer puncher to a pure boxer. He's gonna get on the skates and he's gonna try to outpoint him, bro. That's how it's gonna happen. So Canelo, more than likely, I see him chasing him around because all this weight that you're adding, I got a feeling it's gonna slow you down. Hopefully it doesn't, and you'll keep your speed because I know your power didn't carry on at 154. We can see that. We saw that in the Madrimov fight.
He was backing up. He was getting hit with clean. No. I'm sorry. I'm going to disagree. His speed was already reduced at 154 a bit because
that's what I'm saying.
Madrimov was landing clean right hands on him.
But I'm talking about his power. His power didn't carry on.
I know his power didn't carry up. I'm not disagreeing. It's not going to carry. It's definitely not going to carry up against Canelo or Clavo. What I'm saying, though, his reaction defensive wise didn't fully carry up at 154. And now he's going to 168. It's murder. It's going to be a murder.
And I have a question for all of y'all. Do you believe that Crawford is like tired of putting in the work in the sense like, with Errol Spence, you had the special deal of, one fight undisputed, the 3, and you had the 1, boom, undisputed. But when 154 came around, it was like, fuck, I went 12 with Madrimov. And then Fundora got 2, Bakram got 1. Man, I'm better off just fighting Canelo and just, call it.
He could have took the Fundora fight over the Canelo.
I feel that, but at the same time, I gotta ask, what work? Since 2020, you've been fighting only once a year.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying it. He's been inactive. He doesn't show that he's been wanting to put in the work as much.
No, that's the thing, bro. See that's the thing. This is why Canelo has losses because when you fight more often and you fight really good opposition, this is what the fuck happens. When Inoue got dropped by Luis Neri, that's what happens. You fight more often and you fight good fighters.
Yep.
But when you're not doing that, of course, tell Crawford, hey, Crawford, fight 60 people or more. Let's see if you don't take a loss or get knocked down somewhere.
Right.
You have a lot of
let me ask you this, Pablo. You remember when Bud Crawford said more recently, I don't know if you heard this too, Park Street, is that Bud Crawford said, I've never had a controversial fight. I've never had a controversial fight.
Didn't we just have that with Madrimov?
That was big
100%.
We just had that with Madrimov.
Yeah, I know. He said that right before Madrimov.
Okay.
Yeah, like bragging, like, oh, I'm not like Canelo or any of these guys because I don't have close fights.
Bro, he spoke too soon. And it's a guy with only how many fights, bro? Are you serious?
He's never outboxed bigger, tougher opponents.
Well, think about it. He shitted on the Spence win and then turns around. And before Spence was his best win, he used to walk around and brag, Jeff Horn's my best win. I'm like, bro, you gotta stop.
That's diabolical.
I remember when he made the fight with David Avanesian, and people were saying, "Look, why wouldn't you fight Spence?" and blah blah. Blah. They were having negotiation problems, and he said, "After I became undisputed at light welterweight, everyone tried to be undisputed." And I, as a Crawford fan, I tried to block that out of my mind, saying, "Okay, maybe he just said something stupid because it just flipped out of his tongue." But no, now he's, again, as a free agent, he's doing the exact same thing he did when he was at Top Rank. He's fighting once a year against guys who people don't care about. He's making excuses not to fight the top contenders. And now he's downplaying everybody else, guys who have never said a bad word about him.
And another thing.
That's called a self-meat lover.
And another thing. People love to talk about Pacquiao's losses. Oh, he got 8 losses. Motherfucker, he beat 21 world champions. The fuck are we talking about?
Yes. Damn.
I mean, solid as T, bro. We're not hating on Crawford, but he has been saying some sus shit, bro.
Oh no,
I
I'm hating on Crawford for the shit.
Oh, there he
saying.
is, right
Sorry,
there. There
All
he
right,
is.
He's
Solid as
losing it,
T.
bro.
Welcome to the panel, Solid as T. Speak to us, my brother.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes,
There
sir.
he
Yes,
goes.
sir.
Yeah.
Talk your stuff.
Yeah, why is everybody coming at Crawford? What'd he do to y'all?
That's the point.
That's what he's saying.
He's saying dumb stuff.
He ain't did nothing for us.
He's saying Solidus.
Dumb
He's
stuff
saying
like what?
dumb stuff. He's
Trashing Manny
downplaying
Pacquiao's resume.
when he's sitting
I
out and he's
mean,
not fighting the top fighters.
I don't think
He's
that's
holding
the
belts
bigger. I mean, you gotta put it in perspective though. Like,
So
if
let me
anybody,
put it in perspective
hold up, you can go right after me.
Yeah,
If anybody can talk shit about a Manny Pacquiao, it would be a pro boxer. Guys on the internet don't really got no say over that, so it's not that big of a deal. If it ain't,
No,
I mean, I disagree with it, but if anybody can say that, it would be a professional fighter. That's not big of a deal. Now, my question to the panel is,
That's crazy.
my question to the panel is, why would Canelo say Benavidez is not in his weight class, so he don't want to fight him, but then turn around?
Oh, we're not doing that.
Oh my God!
Hold on. I got a quick question for Clavo and Edgar. What is Canelo? I thought he had an issue with the Crawford. Hold on, fellas. I thought he had an issue with the Crawford thing. Where does Canelo Benavidez come in at?
I'm confused.
No. The reason why
you came more in here to defend Benavidez, not Crawford.
No, the reason why
This is about Benavidez, not Crawford.
Hold up. The reason why I'm bringing up the Canelo, the reason why I mentioned the Canelo thing, because I think what he said was more ridiculous than what Crawford said. Like, he don't want to fight Benavidez because he's too big for him. Pause. But he verbally, because nothing's official yet, but he verbally agreed to fight a guy that is weight class below him. How does that make sense? There should be strong pushback for that, but it's not. Why is that?
So Solid as T. I'm gonna give you a chance. Hold on, Solid as T. I'm gonna give you a chance to read to focus only on Bud, because I really don't want to body bag you. Because the only thing I can tell you is this, my brother.
How you gonna body bag me?
Okay. Okay.
The first body. No, hold on. The first body bag. The first body bag is you coming in here talking about why y'all giving Crawford hate, and then you go right straight to Canelo and Benavidez. That's the first body bag right there.
That's it right there.
All right, I'll leave the Canelo stuff alone. I'll leave the Canelo stuff alone. It's your platform.
No, you're in now. No, you're in.
It's just odd. It's just odd that you would bring up Canelo when you have an issue with what somebody said about Bud.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my point. I was the one bringing up.
It don't make any sense.
So why are you going after
No,
Canelo?
the point is, don't, like, this is what I'm trying to say. What Crawford said, I don't agree with. No, I don't think nobody does. But I don't think we should take that and then try to, like, discredit him just for him saying something dumb. I'm not trying to discredit Canelo either.
How we discredit him?
No, I'm saying in general. I'm saying in general. And I'm saying in general.
Crawford as well, but we're speaking factual on Crawford. Crawford's an excellent fighter, but at the same time, his resume is thin.
Yeah, like
that's not hating, and that's not discrediting anything he's done.
His resume is not that good. The only 50-50.
What you mean his resume is bad?
He said his best win was Jeff Horn. So do you want me to say, oh, he got the best resume I've ever seen?
Hey, check this out. You can't, I mean, if you in a weight class where other guys ain't really on your level and you beat them, I mean, there really ain't nothing I can say. I mean, that's his weight class. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he can't go to a different weight class. That's his weight class. He can't put too much emphasis. You can't put too much emphasis on that, because it's like, hey, this is my weight class. These are the guys in my weight class. They got the belts. I'm gonna fight them. Can't make a big deal out of that.
Solid is who's Crawford's best opponent? Solid is who's Crawford's best opponent? Who's his best win?
Hold on, let him finish this one real quick, Hit. I'm gonna let you get it. Who's his best opponent? Solid is
his best opponent.
Yes.
Me personally, this is my opinion. I thought the Puerto fight was really competitive until he got him out of there. I thought that was a really good win. Me personally.
So you feel like that's the best win on his resume? Sean Porter, maybe?
Yeah, I like that. That was a very competitive fight. I like that fight.
Okay,
to be honest with you.
Bro, no. Who is the best win?
I just said Porter.
He thinks it's Sean Porter.
So it is Sean Porter. Okay.
All right. Okay, can I take the floor though to solve this point over? You know, like The reason, like, I'm not saying Crawford ain't a great fighter. He is. What I don't like is Crawford's energy right now. So I don't like his comments about Pacquiao, but also the one thing which has been bugging me, and the reason why I'm hating on him a bit, is because this one fight per year bullshit. And you just mentioned, like fights at your weight class. The last fight against Israel Madrimov, there are a ton of highly competitive fights at 154 for Terence Crawford. Instead of going for this money grab against Canelo, because that's what he's doing. He's doing a cash out fight where he's going to go and get his shit beaten.
Yeah,
Like when he could have fought Bakram, he could have fought Virgil, who's been chasing him since 147. By the way, Boots, if Boots moves up, Stanionis,
Bakram,
Fundora, he beats
Bakram. To respond to that, I actually agree with that. I feel like this is what I think he should have did. I feel like he should have just went ahead and fought Boots because that's who's been calling him out the longest. He should have did that, or if not Boots, go ahead and just get the fight with Ortiz at 54. Take his belts. That's what I feel he should do. This Canelo thing is a waste of time. He's not even in his weight class. This is a dumb fight. But like you said, it's a money grab. I understand that. But that's what I would have did. I would have either fought Virgil or I would have turned around and said, well, I might as well fight the young boy. He keep calling me out. Beat them and then go ahead and retire. Because, Crawford's an aging fighter. He ain't got much long left. He might as well do that and retire.
So just
Edgar, let Edgar go on this one.
Hey, just about what you just said. I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying in general, the other side of the street, like guys like Ashy and all those guys, how come they don't keep the same energy with Bud for not fighting Boots or Virgil that they do with Canelo supposedly ducking Benavidez? How come?
I think the Canelo thing is, I think it's a deep thing because when you look at boxing, Mexicans pretty much run boxing, and they got the best fan base. I think the problem with that is you've never seen a Mexican get challenged and then not take the fight. A black fighter will probably duck a fight before a Mexican fighter will. You've never seen a Mexican get called out and not take the fight. I think people are caught off by that. That is it's deeper than what y'all think.
So you've never seen a Mexican fighter. So you're saying it's okay for one style of fighter to do that, but not another.
No, I didn't say it was okay. I think people that fuck with boxing for real, that's how they look at it. Mexicans run this shit. And you've never seen a Mexican boxer get challenged and then not take the fight. Mexicans fight anybody. They don't give a fuck who you are. And I think people look at it like that. So they're like, fuck the Canelo thing. Then they're saying he was his mandatory for 3 years and he wouldn't fight him.
So do you think by what you just said that because Mexican fighters take on all comers, do you think that is something do you think that is something to praise about them?
Praise about Mexicans that fight anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay, so why wouldn't we as boxing fans take that same state of mind and hold it across the board, regardless of where the fight is from?
You can. I didn't say you can't. There are people that are criticizing Crawford for that. I didn't say you can't. I'm just saying it's more of an issue on the Mexican side because Mexicans are known for fighting anybody. They don't give a fuck. If you're in the way area, we can fight. And when Canelo didn't do that, if people were like, wait a minute, Mexicans fighting, they don't give a fuck who you. Mexicans fight other Mexicans. They fight niggas. They'll fight an Asian. They'll fight a Ukrainian dude. They'll fight anybody. And Canelo, as great as he is, he'll fight anybody. So for him to be like, oh, I don't want to fight him for whatever reason, but then turn around and fight guys that really don't need to be in the ring with him, that sucks. People ain't feeling
I would like to.
That's all it is.
I want to go right after him.
Canelo should be compensated.
Oh, the only thing I'll say is Solid as T. This is the mistake that we're making, is that Canelo didn't want to take the Bud Crawford fight either. But he said, if these are the fights that people are willing to pay me a ridiculous amount of money for, I'll take them tomorrow.
Yeah, money thing.
He said the same thing about David. He said the same thing about David. And really, when you look at it, people hype up David like he's some killer, but he's not. And so it's not a fight. It's not a legacy fight for Canelo. It's not a fight that he has to have. It's not any of that. It's just a group of fanboys that are saying that this is a fight they want to see. And hold on, let me finish, Solidus. And so Canelo said, I'll take the fight tomorrow if you give me my money. They're giving him $100 million for Skull. They're giving him gazillion dollars for Terence Crawford. So my whole thing is that if Turkey wanted to put up the money for David, the fight can happen tomorrow. He said he's willing to fight anybody. He doesn't care. He's not going to go out of his way to give David a payday if there's nothing in it for him. David's not a champion.
And guys,
he also said where you messed up. Let me say this real quick. Where you messed up at is he also said he understands David's a huge risk, so he needs to get paid that way. He also said that too. Don't leave that out.
Even still, that doesn't change anything.
So
that
you
I
said he's not a killer. You said he's not a killer.
Hold on, so
you said he's not a killer, but he acknowledged he's a risk. So maybe he is a killer. So tell Canelo to get in front of David and let's see what happens.
Hold on. How many interviews have Canelo said he'll beat David Benavidez easy? Because there's been many.
Well, they all say that. I'm just saying. He also said
exactly. So even after every fight, Canelo said, "Oh, this
every
guy's
boxer
a great
say
fighter."
that.
He turns around and says, "Oh, that guy's a great fighter, and I respect him." Even if Canelo cooked him, oh, he's a great fighter. He says that about everybody.
Yeah,
so
but that's just talking though. Tell him to get in front of David and let's see if he'll kill him or not. He won't do it.
When David came to the fight, did David get in the ring? When Canelo motioned for him to get in the ring?
Hold on, say that again.
When Canelo invited him into the ring at the Munguia fight, that was the first challenge right there, and he didn't go.
His mouth, bro, pussy energy, bro, in the Munguia fight.
IBP, can I say one thing? I gotta go.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Solidus. Yeah, I disagree with everybody on this panel about the Canelo Benavidez thing, but it's in the past. We got to move on, and you simply cannot criticize Canelo. Look, I'm Canelo's biggest critic, but you cannot criticize him and defend Bud Crawford sitting out, holding belts hostage, making excuses to not fight the top.
I never defended him. I never defended him.
No, hold on. You
did.
Said when you first hold on, Solidus. You said when you first came on here, why are we hating on Crawford? We're all pointing this out. These are the things that he's doing. So that's why, again, Canelo, nobody's a bigger critic of Canelo than me, but we all have to move on. I want to move on, and this is what Bud Crawford is doing. So anyway, thanks for having me on, guys. Catch you later.
All right, so look at Fight Sports, and I just want to read this from George the Last Patriot. He says, people give Terrence Crawford crap for his resume at 147, but gloss over the fact that he was heavily ducked by the top fighters of the time.
Is that true?
How do you guys feel about that?
Hey, check this out. I was reading, if I may, I was reading something in the chat where y'all were talking about a fantasy fight between Pacquiao and Crawford. Y'all think Pacquiao will win?
Pacquiao who?
Prime for Pacquiao, absolutely.
What? Based on what attribute?
On the people that he fought.
No. Pacquiao has the skill level. Pacquiao has the skill level to beat a prime Crawford. Y'all think that?
Yes.
Power,
so you tell me,
determination.
Hey, you tell me that if that bull could have rocked Crawford, Pacquiao couldn't do the same?
Hold on, say that one more time.
If Gamboa could have rocked Crawford, Pacquiao could have done the same?
Hey, let me address that real quick. If you are a boxer and you're fighting, you're going to get hit or get rocked. You cannot name a fighter who fights all the time and never gets hit or rocked. I wish people would stop saying that.
I don't think that was the point he was making. The point he was making.
No. It is people always say that.
Hold on, 1 second. The point he was making wasn't that the guy got hurt. Everybody.
No, I know what he was making.
Anybody can get hurt. The point that he was trying to make was that Pacquiao's such a legend, such a great fighter, and he had such bursts with speed and power. If a guy who's nowhere near his ability is able to hurt Crawford and have him moving wobbly, imagine what a guy the caliber of a Manny Pacquiao in his prime, who's going to catch him with the speed, faster speed than Sean Porter, but more power than anybody he's fought at those weights. You're talking about a Manny Pacquiao's elite level that's different from everybody he's fought, and we're talking about a Crawford who really went life and death with Mandramov. So you have to, in what we're saying is you have to look at that with a different lens.
That's not Crawford that went life or death with Mandramov. That's not prime Crawford. I'm talking about Crawford 10 years ago.
Death with Sean Porter, was that prime Crawford?
No, that was Crawford in his 30s. Prime Crawford.
Bro, prime Crawford is when he fought Kavaliauskas and he got dropped, bro.
2015, 2016, 2017. That version against Pacquiao.
2014 is when he fought Gamboa.
Beat him. I'm not going to flat out Hold up. I'm not going to flat out outright say he'll beat Pat. I'm not going to say all that, but there's a very good chance he can win that fight. If you think Pacquiao's just going to dog walk him, that's a mistake. I think
he's going to have some success, but I think a prime Pacquiao is going to overwhelm him and stop him at some point.
Yeah, I would reconsider.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You can't compare that high cloud. I'm sorry. You can't compare Sean Porter We can't even compare Danny
I'm not
Garcia
comparing
to
anybody. I
Steve
watched Terrence
Thurman,
Crawford fight,
Errol
and I
Spence
see
to a
that he's very
Pacquiao.
talented, like Pacquiao. He has a chance to beat him. I'm not comparing who he fought because that styles make fights. It's not. We don't know what would happen if he got in the ring, so I'm not going to go off who he fought.
You do know that Pacquiao has the record of the oldest welterweight.
No, Pacquiao is a legend. I'm not discrediting nothing. Pacquiao is a legend. He's one of the best fighters ever.
No,
So
wait,
I don't have to hear that.
Hold on, man. Wait. Are we really having this conversation? Fucking Pacquiao beat Margarito, beat Cotto, beat Mosley, beat Marquez, beat fucking Bradley. What the fuck are we talking about, dog?
If I have to say how many times I gotta keep, how many times I gotta keep telling you that Pacquiao's a legend? If I'm acknowledging he's a legend, you don't have to mention that. I already
So why
know
are you
Pacquiao's
fucking
a
making a
legend.
comparison
So I
with them
mentioned all
being in their
that.
prime?
But look at who he
That answer
beat.
should be easy.
It's super easy.
What fight did you
Like I
see?
said,
Crawford ain't nowhere on Pacquiao's planet. Nowhere.
I can't say with 100% certainty he would just beat Crawford.
Okay, so
Could it happen?
pinpoint the
Yes,
fight
but
that
I
you
couldn't say
seen
that.
Crawford. Hold on. Pinpoint the fight that you seen Terrence Crawford and say that's the fight that shows me as great as Manny is. I can't say that he can beat Crawford because Crawford on this fight showed out. What fight was that?
What I'm gonna say is, throughout Crawford's body of work, from what I
name one in
seen
his prime.
by his
Don't name one outside of his prime because you want to focus on his prime. In his prime, what fight did Crawford have that you say
But
that's the
I
fight
said
that
I
showed
didn't.
me?
But see, that's a trick question because I never said a specific fight. I said throughout his prime years,
I didn't ask. I
Crawford
didn't say
fought
you
at a
said
level
specific fight.
where
I'm
he can hang
asking
with
you.
anybody.
See, look, hold on. Hold on. See, that's the point. No. Wait a minute. That's the point right there.
Understanding the question.
That's the point right there. You
in his
can't name those
prime?
fights on fucking Crawford, but you can name a bunch on fucking Manny Pacquiao,
Yeah.
Oscar De La Hoya, Eric
All right,
Morales.
I'll say this. This is a guy that ain't that good, but the way Crawford performed. When that Henry Lundy dude, the way Crawford took care of him, that was prime Crawford. That was very impressive. He's not a big name though.
For Buzz' first undisputed run, who did he fight? Who did he defeat?
So is Lundy as level as Oscar De La Hoya?
Fuck no.
Bro, what the fuck are we talking about?
Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me address that. Hey, please let me address that. He said Oscar De La Hoya when he fought Pacquiao.
Yeah, that ain't the fight for Pacquiao to compare Pacquiao. I'm sorry, it's not. De La Hoya was cooked.
Okay, yeah.
He was still better than Hank Lundy.
It's still better winning than fucking Lundy, bro.
Henry Lundy.
Still better than Jeff Horn. Still better than Jose Benavidez.
Bro, the fucking Marquez fight.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, check this out. Do you guys got selective hearing? I never discredit anything about Pacquiao. The guy's a legend. He's an all-time great. I'm just saying, through
you're
the
making a comparison of who would win in their prime.
With 100% certainty he would beat Crawford. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say Pacquiao is a legend. Outside of Floyd Mayweather, he was the best in that class. He's a legend.
So why the fuck are you making a comparison in their prime?
Hold up. What I'm saying is, compared to their careers when they were in their prime, I cannot say with 100% certainty he would beat Crawford. If he beats Crawford, then he beat him. Fuck it. But I can't say he will. That's all I'm saying. I'm not discrediting nothing about Pacquiao. You don't have to mention nothing about Pacquiao's accolades. You do not have to mention his accolades.
1 second. The fight that you said that made you believe that Manny Pacquiao can't really mess with him in his prime was a Henry Lundy fight. When we all know that's a journeyman.
Hey, bro, I know you like to debate and all that. That's fine. I respect that.
No, I'm just saying.
But I never said something about Pacquiao couldn't hang with him. What I said was if they fought in their prime, it could go either way.
You're not listening. We're
I'm going off what you said.
Hold on. We're going back to that's the fight in his prime that you said, man. That's where Terrence Crawford
the way he stopped him was impressive.
Like Pacquiao. Henry Lundy and Pacquiao so far separate. They're nowhere near the level. That's not even a proving fight. That's a tune-up fight. That's a journeyman fight.
I didn't say that. He asked me, one of the guys on the panel asked me what fight where he stopped somebody. I said, I like the way he stopped Henry Lundy. Nowhere did I compare it to Pacquiao, no shape or form. What I'm saying is, if they fight in their prime,
maybe you're not understanding the question I'm asking.
I don't know, bro.
Is what fight in his prime did you see where Terrence Crawford fought that made you think that he was great?
I'm gonna say all his fights, but I'm gonna highlight the one I just mentioned.
Okay, so beating a journeyman doesn't make you great.
What it is right. But I saw him displayed as a boxer. See, I'm a talent guy. I judge boxers by their talent because it's possible that you might be in the weight class where the other guys are not that
Then you
good.
don't know what the
So
fuck
we
you're
gotta go off
watching.
your
I'm
talent.
sorry.
That's what I'm
You don't
talking
know what
about.
the fuck you're watching.
You can have all the talent, but with no work, it means nothing.
Crawford's not talented. Crawford's
Not
not
like
talented.
Pacquiao. You're the one that's making the
Based off of
comparison.
what you just
All right.
said,
All right.
you compare his talent based off the guys that he fight. So if Crawford didn't fight nobody, how can you have this ideology about him?
Boom. Body
Exactly.
bag.
That's a body bag.
He
It's a
beat
body.
everybody.
Damn, who did that body bag?
He beat everybody. He beat everybody in 2 divisions and was undisputed. So that
No, he
means he's
didn't.
beating the
No,
best
he
in the
didn't.
weight class.
He
So you
beat
can't
one
get no
guy.
credit for that.
He beat
He
one
does
So
guy.
you're
get
just
credit.
going to
He
say.
does get credit.
So you're just going to say he fought a bunch of bums.
I give him that. He does get credit for his accomplishments. He gets credit for all the division. I believe 4-weight world champion, 2-time undisputed. He gets absolute credit. But we're talking about the type of level of fighter that he fought consistently was not on the same level as Manny Pacquiao.
No.
I've admitted that like 5
I
times. How
understand
many
you
times I
admit
got to
that, but
keep
we're
saying
talking
that?
about what fights that made you think that he could hang with a Manny. He doesn't have the resume to compare.
Hey, bro.
What accomplishments are hollow
Hey, bro.
if you're not fighting
Hey,
with
bro.
top guys. Is what we're saying.
Nuke, he's
Hey, bro,
pretending that he didn't make a
respectfully.
comparison on who would win a prime Crawford or prime Pacquiao. He's pretending like he
bro.
didn't fucking just say that 10 minutes ago. What the fuck
Hey,
are we
bro.
doing?
Hey, bro. This is your platform. Respectfully, let's just change topic because I already answered it. I'm not saying what
but
y'all
you
want
got
to
body
hear, so
bag,
that's
yeah.
sparking the argument. I'm not saying what y'all want to hear, so that's causing the argument and confusion.
Okay, so what you
Just
want to
change the
talk about?
topic. This your
Benavidez?
platform. Respectfully, can you just change the topic?
You want to talk about Benavidez?
Yeah.
This y'all platform. Y'all bring a topic on and
you
I'll
might as
talk
well
about it.
memorize his
You
own
came
words.
in defending
Bud, so I just want you to
Crawford.
feel. Hold on, bro. I want you to make yourself at home. You came up here because you felt some kind of way about the way we were speaking on Bud, and
It
so
got
since
addressed.
you
We
felt some
good.
kind of way, but hold on, let me finish, my brother. And so since you felt some kind of way, if you're frustrated with the conversation and saying, "Look, we're not going to agree. I just want to change the topic," just say that.
No. It's all good. It's your platform. I respect y'all. We can switch it up. There's other
if you
stuff
asked
we can
me, you
talk
wanted
about.
to change the topic. That's a sign of
We
defeat right there.
already addressed it. I said what I said. Y'all said what y'all said.
Okay.
It's all
So
respect.
so we'll
We just
accept
switch
the
it up
white
now.
flag. We'll accept the white flag.
No, it's no white flag. I'm just saying.
Yes, it is.
We already talked about it.
Yes, it is. I mean, well, let's continue to talk about it.
Hey,
because you came. Hold on. Because you
Just
came
look
in
at it
here.
as
No. Because you
agree to
came.
disagree.
Wait a minute. You came in here talking about you. Well, man, you can't. It's okay that fucking Crawford can critique another pro fighter when this other pro fighter's a big legend, fought way better competition, and he's over here making accusations of fucking steroids, which he ain't never been popped for, to be honest. So why the fuck are we even discussing this at all? So you think Crawford has the right to speak about Pacquiao like that? So it's okay
This is the
with
first
you?
time This is the first time I'm addressing the steroid thing. Hey, bro, let me speak. This is the first time I'm addressing the steroids thing. I don't agree with nothing Crawford's recently been saying. I said that at the top of the hour when I got on here, so that's mute. I don't agree with none of that. The shit he said about Spence and the shit he's saying about Pacquiao. Look, Manny Pacquiao is a legend. He's one of my favorite fighters. He's well respected. That dude was like a robot in the ring. Great. He can hang with anybody. One of the greatest offensive fighters of all time. Outside of Floyd, he was the best in that weight class. Definitely respect him. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. I do not agree with what Crawford is saying about Pacquiao. I think Pacquiao is definitely a legend and a Hall of Famer. He never tested positive for the steroids, so I'm not sure why he's saying that. I understand there was rumors of that, but still there wasn't no positive test, so never mind all that. I don't agree with none of that stuff Crawford's saying.
Wait a minute.
It is what it is.
Newsflash. That's exactly what we're talking about. That's why we were talking shit on Crawford for that reason right there. And you felt the need to come with your red cape and defend him. And now you're agreeing with us. So which one is it, bro? You can't have it both ways like hermaphrodites, bro.
I was speaking on the Pacquiao and Crawford hypothetical matchup. I never said I agreed with the stuff Crawford was saying. You got selective hearing, my guy.
Well, then that means you didn't hear us correctly because we were talking about the criticism.
And also, you also got to remember. I wasn't even here from the beginning. I jumped in an hour into the stream. You got to take that into consideration too. So I wasn't even here from the beginning.
Then all that means that you came in here with the wrong assumption, bro. Yep. That's it.
No, I didn't. I read something in the chat that said. I read something in the chat that was anti-Crawford, and I jumped in.
Let me ask the panel, guys. Were we making a fucking fantasy fight with Crawford and Pacquiao?
Just tell this
Did we do that?
Yep.
Hell no.
Just tell Clever
Nobody
to shut
said
the fuck up.
anything about a fantasy fight with Pacquiao and Crawford. Nobody. We were
Just tell
talking about
Clever
the
to shut the
interview
fuck up.
that Crawford
The
had.
chat.
He was
The
speaking.
chat. Now you got
That's
the
the
chat.
chat.
I
But I'm
didn't say
talking about the
panel. I said the
panel.
chat.
I'm talking about the panel, fam.
Well, I'm talking about the chat.
Well,
That's
you
what I
came
told
in
you
here
from the chat.
acting like somebody in the panel said that shit.
Leaders, don't take shit from Clever, man.
Okay, so maybe
Don't take
this
shit
is
from
the
Clever.
What's up with this dude,
maybe
man?
this is the misunderstanding. Solid as shit. You were referring when you came on. You were talking about the chat was going at Crawford going crazy, or were you talking about the panel going crazy?
Like I said when I first got on, when I said in the chat. I never said the panel. I think
Nah.
I
You
think what
lying, bro.
happened is
Nah, bro, you lying, bro. That was directed to us.
somebody
That was
you got
directed to the
yeah,
panel.
because I
if you
think
feel
yo,
online,
I think
the playback is available. Just play it back if you think I'm lying, and you'll see.
I
Oh,
think
damn, he did say that.
I think your
That's all you
exact
got to
words.
do.
Wait,
No. Wait a minute.
Your exact words
I actually addressed it right
You
before
said
you
I'm
joined.
lying. The playback's available. Just play it back,
I
and you will
actually
see. Oh,
addressed
no,
your
he did
comment.
say the chat.
Nah, bro. I actually
Problem
addressed your
solved.
comment right before you joined.
Problem solved.
No, I think
it's
your
not.
exact words. I think your exact words when you hopped on and we said, and Nuke introduced you, said, "Hey man, speak what you got to speak." Your exact words were, "Hey, why are you guys all hating on Crawford for whatever you
Body
said?"
bag.
Yo, those were your exact words.
That's a body.
Exactly.
Don't take any shit
So
from
this is a
Clever,
competition.
man.
I'm being body bad. Okay.
No,
that's
no,
fine.
but those were your exact words.
This
Your
is
exact
called a
words were,
debate.
"Why are y'all going at Crawford for for talking about another
All right.
boxer?"
For clarity, I was referring to what I was reading in the chat.
Yeah, but that did not.
Does anybody get that
come out
now?
that way.
Hey, I give you credit for you trying to get away from me, bro. But nah.
And then you said we can't say nothing about it because we ain't boxers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
No, what I mean by that is it's like these guys on the internet, they put too much energy on what somebody said. Like it ain't they put too much energy on what another boxer
One
said
second,
about
fellas.
another
I just want to
boxer.
read this one from Mike Traits, and then we can keep the conversation going. He said he was in his feelings because y'all were critical of Bud. That hurts his feelings, and you can't criticize him.
I agree.
That's true. Sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Mirage, what's up, man?
Are you feeling okay, bro? Nestor fucking chewed your ass out, bro. I love that shit.
So the boxing voice destroyed Mirage?
He destroyed, bro.
I gotta see that.
He ate his ass up and threw him up, bro.
Mirage is on mute
are
right
you still
now.
okay? Are you okay? Are you moving? Are you alive?
He's on mute right now.
You don't want to unmute.
Somebody got a revival.
Hell no, he revived himself for getting his ass in that predicament.
Man, I appreciate you coming on here, clicking the link, man, and just saying what you got to say, bro. It's all respect. It's nothing like that, It's just all respect at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's all good.
I do got one question for Solidus Tito.
Yeah.
For Crawford's first undisputed run, who did he fight? That's a genuine question.
Look it up. You got a chance to look it up.
Yeah, go ahead and Google it.
Hey, what's up, babe? Can I get a word in or what?
Well, we've been waiting for you, asshole. What you mean?
Yeah. So
passed away, man.
So September, Canelo's in trouble. Canelo's in trouble. His fanboys are in trouble. All in trouble. That's the facts. You're underestimating.
From what I heard, you was in trouble.
Let me
I heard you
explain.
was in trouble. Somebody.
I think you're more in trouble than us.
You're confused. Let me explain why you're confused. You're overestimating Canelo.
Wait,
and you're underestimating
wait, Mirage. Before we debate the Canelo thing.
It's not a debate. This is education.
I know, Mirage. Just one second.
School.
Right before we debate that, I just got a question for you. I'm the host of the show. Just show me a little respect. Before we debate the Canelo thing, the only question I have for you is, what happened with you on the boxing voice?
Yeah, I want to know about that.
And I educated Ness. I gave him an education as usual. What's the confusion?
It looks like it went from an education that you attempted to a spanking that he gave you.
Then he got emotional. Hang on, he got emotional, and now I'm to blame. It's my fault. I got cooked because he got upset. How does that work?
Well, now
he got emotional
wait
because he was getting cooked and he couldn't take it.
Wait a minute, Mirage. Hold on, Mirage. Well,
I'll gladly educate him again. That's fine, no problem.
Nah, hold on, Mirage. Well, I gotta cook you right now because What'd you say on the Boxing Boys at the beginning? What'd you say at the boxing? What did you say at the beginning? You said that David's got to enforce. He's got to push. He's got to activate mandatories. And what did you say on this panel? There's no such thing as activating a fucking mandatory. You dumb fuck. Fuck you.
Hang on.
Tell me you didn't just lie to yourself like that.
He bodied himself, bro.
You go to somewhere else and you start acknowledging shit that you would never acknowledge over here.
Exactly.
When I say that,
What kind of shit is this, Mirage?
I'm doing that.
I thought we were cool.
Damn, man. I'm doing that deliberately to expose hypocrisy. I'm running with it. I'm running with it to expose hypocrisy. This is next level stuff. It's confusing for you. Anyway,
it's next level stuff. At least have a little respect, bro. The fact that you went over there and acknowledged all of that, and over here you were just stubborn and wasn't trying to be honest about nothing. That really just shows me you're a fanboy, bro. I had a little respect. Now it's all gone.
Oh, okay.
It's all gone.
The feel is here.
Now I'm gonna let Hit Kid body you.
Hey, I still got to make my point. So, yeah, you guys don't understand how much Canelo's fallen from his best. Like, go watch that John Ryder fight. He had a war with John Bum Ryder, and elite fighters should have taken John Ryder out in about 3 rounds. He had a war. His face was so busted up, he needed to wear sunnies in the post-fight press conference. He went 8-4. He went 8-4 with bum gear. That's embarrassing.
Wait a minute. Compared to a Benavidez who went life and death and got dropped with Morrell.
Would destroy John Ryder in about 1 round.
Clavo, let me take this. We're not even.
Go ahead, Hit.
I haven't even landed the plane. Let me land the plane.
Nah. Bend his ass over here, kid.
Here's the education right now. This guy's saying Canelo who battered John Ryder, dropped him multiple times, okay? Finished Caleb
Canelo got battered as well.
Can you let me finish?
We didn't let me finish.
Bitch, you were going on about how Crawford. Let me go with this. This man is saying Crawford is going to school Canelo in September. Correct me if I'm wrong, did Crawford just go life or death with his Shell Madrimov at 154?
Yes.
Correct. Now, does Madrimov and Canelo, do they fight with the same style?
No, they do not.
No, they do not.
Canelo has more skills than that.
Is that a body? Can I get a check on the bodies there? Body bag? Hey, kid, we know you're a casual. Styles make fights. You learned something today?
Mirage, I'm not done. So wait, all fighters fight with different styles. That we can all agree on. But you mean to tell me Madrimov, who was only a WBA champ compared to Canelo, who's a multi-weight division, undisputed champion, there is a different level of, fighter level here. Different level of skill set here. I think we could all agree.
Yeah, I don't know what you're rambling. Resumes, Canelo's, okay, cool. So Canelo, obviously, if we go on Google and we do a box rec analysis, that obviously Canelo's a different level, but box rec and resumes, they don't fight for you in the ring. That's history. We're talking 2025. Canelo, he's regressed.
Crawford hasn't.
He's very straightforward. He comes forward looking for.
No, wait a minute. So you want to talk about only 2025, but you're bringing up Ryder from 2022.
Play perfectly, but still stylistically perfectly for Crawford's counter-punching style.
Crawford has not regressed himself. No, guys, this is all me.
He's faster. He's longer. He's got more skills. He's going to box up Canelo.
And the only thing I want to add to this real quick, the only thing I want to add is Alfredo said, since when is 12-0 a war?
Yeah. Okay, let me take this. So we're going 2025, okay?
It wasn't 12-0.
Here's the thing. Crawford hasn't fought since 2024, since early 2024 when he went life or death against... Did he fight in 2024? I can barely remember if Crawford fought in 2024.
August 2024.
So it was August. It's going to be a full year since Crawford fought. And what's Crawford's age, guys?
37 going on 38 in September.
38. Okay. So here's the deal. Crawford, who looked nowhere near the killer he was at 147 when he fought Spence, that was back in 2023, okay? For Madrimov went life or death, only just won a decision, okay? Canelo, I believe, Canelo, had his fights, retained his title, but won clear decisions. Can we all agree it won clear unanimouses?
Correct.
We can argue over the opponents and all that, but we're not on about that. Canelo won clear, decisive, unanimous decisions.
Correct.
Crawford at 154 won a controversial decision.
Correct.
That is
One
true.
that Eddie Hearn and Madrimov called for a rematch.
No. Let me continue my point. Crawford is now moving further up in weight, where he didn't carry his power at 154. He lost a bit of his speed at 154. He did. Madramov's right hand was finding him all fight, and I dare you to try and backtrack on that point. And he's now moving up to 168 against a guy who hits harder, a guy who, in my opinion, and I think the panel will say, has the best chin in boxing, one of the best chins in boxing actively going today in Canelo Alvarez. Because he took prime Triple G power, okay, and here's the even bigger. And by the way, Berlanga, who was the rumored knockout artist, he couldn't put a dent on Canelo, and Canelo dropped his ass. And I think Berlanga's a bum, but that's the thing. We're supposed to believe that Crawford is going to outbox Canelo and even hurt Canelo in September.
The way you really believe that, Mirage?
Crawford is getting knocked the fuck out.
Hey, look at this.
You are beyond fucking saving.
Okay.
Nothing
you said there.
Let me
respond
something real quick.
No, respond to me. Respond to me, Mirage.
Go ahead.
Oh, go on, Carlos. I'll let you go then.
I just want to say that the way they put an overrated Crawford, shit. The first time he fought a young lion, he went life or death with Madrimov. Shit, Canelo been fighting the young lions, and he be watching them.
No, let's see Mirage's response, because
everything you said is true. There are a lot of obstacles and negatives that Crawford has to overcome. But nothing you said there changed a couple of facts, very important facts. Crawford is still, I would say, more skilled and more multi-dimensional boxer today than Canelo. Number one, that hasn't changed. Even if he's moving up, he's faster than Canelo. His hand speed, and he's got a significant reach advantage. Those things still remain true, regardless of anything you said. And that's why I think those factors are still going to give a significant advantage to Crawford. The power you're talking about, cool. Power is only effective if you can land it cleanly. Okay, and I think he's going to land this cleanly.
Punched by Madrimov repeatedly.
Wait, let him finish. Let Mirage finish.
Over the last 5 years, Canelo doesn't have this touch of death power anymore. Okay, people are going the distance. So he's not as powerful as you think. You're overrating that.
Let me counter then. Let me counter this.
Go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what fight is this for Canelo now at 168? It's like his sixth fight. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. He's got those advantages. I already conceded. Yeah, he's obviously got the experience. That's all true.
Hear me out. We're saying Crawford's going to carry the hand speed and all that, and I'll give you the reason.
I'm still assuming that there's a couple of assumptions.
That's the problem with your argument.
12,
assuming, because here's the deal: Crawford, this is his first fight at 168. If he gasses within round 6, and there's going to be a moment within the fight, Mirage, where Crawford is going to get trapped in a corner. With Canelo or trapped on the ropes, he ain't going to be able to, just stick and jab, move, stick and jab, move, stick and jab, move.
He's going to knock him out. Canelo's going to land a couple of punches, and Crawford's just going to go down, just like that. It's going to be that easy.
If Crawford can't take the punch at that weight, yeah.
And let me add to that,
Mirage. We don't have any evidence on that. Can Crawford take the punch at that weight, Mirage?
Hey, Mirage.
I'm assuming he can take it just as John Bum Rider, Bum Gear.
When you assume
Crawford's small man moving up to 168.
Are we ignoring Canelo went 12 rounds with a 154 pounder who's not as good as fucking Crawford? Are we forgetting about that?
He was running for his life.
He's still naturally bigger and physically stronger than Crawford.
Can I jump in real quick?
Charlo ate the body shots, he took the power, and he went 12. Don't ignore that. That's important.
Charlo ran.
Yeah, he was riding on his bike.
Charlo ran.
But Mirage, I can say that Crawford has been aggressing his switch hitting style. He's not been
That style's not been working for him recently.
And also, Carlos, I want to add a caveat to what you just said because everybody keep talking about Crawford and his footwork and this, that, and the third, and how much that's going to give him trouble. But what nobody's talking about is how Canelo has great foot placement.
Cuts the rings off.
Yeah, cuts the ring off.
Exactly.
And the difference between.
By the way, Steel Mills corrected us. He said he's in his 10th fight. He had 10 fights
to Crawford's first. Oh my
God! Could I chime in? Could I chime in real quick?
I got a question for the panel because I don't know if this is true. My brother Dwayne put in the chat. Canelo dropped Charlo for the first time in his career. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And Charlo ran after it all fight. So
Didn't Harrison drop him in their first fight?
No, you're right.
No, Harrison did. It was second time Charlo's dropped, but Charlo ran all fight after he got dropped. Let's remember that.
Right.
Charlo got
exactly
on a bike.
That's exactly what Crawford. Could I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
As the guy just put up there, Canelo has been fighting at 168. He's technically a light heavyweight also, and he's fighting. And if this fight actually happens, he's fighting Crawford, who's never fought in that weight class. So I feel like we all know it's very obvious he will probably knock Crawford out. I mean, he's fighting a guy that's not used to that weight, so he's probably going to knock him out. We all can figure that out, right?
To Mirage.
Tell it to that dumbass.
Mirage think that it's going to be the same Crawford that was at 140. Well, I want to see that hand speed. I want to see that quickness. I want to see everything at 168.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something else quickly.
You can't tell me nothing, Bozo, because it's going to happen. It is unrealistic.
Now, I'm not saying Crawford's going to hurt him, but with his combination of accuracy, timing,
oh my God, bro!
I reckon he can make Canelo. I reckon he can make Canelo respect his punches, just like Floyd Mayweather did.
He's going to respect Canelo.
So I don't think
Canelo he act like Crawford got something that Canelo's never seen before. That's what people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Canelo's been fighting all different styles, all different weight classes. He's been up and down, right? Everybody, whether it was lefty, whether it was righty, whether it was switch hitter, it doesn't matter, bro. He's seen it all. He's seen it all. Mirage,
but he can never respect Floyd's punching power.
Mirage, and also that was a different Canelo to what we can't compare that Canelo from the Floyd fight to the Canelo we've got now. Let's
but the point is, Floyd was not a big puncher. Floyd was not a big puncher at 154, yet Canelo still respected his power.
Yeah, but we can't compare that Canelo. We can't compare that Canelo to the Canelo. No, come on.
You compare a 23-year-old Canelo in a catchweight fight compared to Canelo now? Man, what's wrong with you, dude?
No, I'm comparing Floyd. You don't need to be a huge puncher to get respect if you know how to land.
So you're saying Crawford is just my point.
Guys. Let me just say this though. Considering Mirage is picking Crawford and saying he's going to expose Canelo, I only want to say this. I want to just make this point right now. When Canelo beats him, and I mean when, I'm not backing down on this. Canelo's going to finish him. When Canelo beats him in September, are you going to be here? And instead of saying, Canelo, no. Instead of saying Canelo, fought a guy who was moving up all these weights, it was more like a cherry.
Yeah.
Instead of keeping that energy, you come on this live, you keep the energy, and you give Canelo the credit for knocking him the fuck out, which will happen.
Hey, kid.
Mirage, when you come back, make sure it doesn't say Mirage. Make sure it says, I love Canelo.
Hey, Mirage.
You can't Mirage.
Mirage, I put 500 on Canelo right now to beat your boy. I lied. Accept it.
It's too close.
What? It's a simple yes or no.
If you're confident, you'll make that bet. Make that bet. If you're confident, you came in here with a lot of confidence. Make that bet.
The fight is a close fight. If Canelo wins, it's going to be.
Listen, let him change his name.
It's a close decision either way. So I'm not going to bet 500.
No. It's a simple yes or no. It's a simple yes or no.
No.
Oh, there you go. Now, all of a sudden, no.
If Canelo if you're really it's going to be a close decision either way. What if they're $400? That's shit. That's shit.
Bro, what the fuck did he say when he came in here? What did he say?
He's like, you're underestimating Crawford. You're underestimating
Crawford. Says it's going to be Canelo's worst day in September.
Moreno, do you want to bet on the KO? Do you want to put 500 on Canelo carrying him?
I might fucking have to sneeze.
No, I'm telling you on the win. 500 on the win.
I thought you were confident.
KO, whatever. No. Don't try to do your stupid Jedi mind trick. I put you on the spot. 500, yes or no?
Hey, Mirage, I bet you $50 Bomac throwing the towel.
Hold on, Mirage. Are you going to accept the bet or not?
I'll bet. Yep.
So you're accepting the 500?
No, I'm not accepting the 500 unless it's for the KO. Unless it's for the KO.
Supreme.
Yeah.
Then you're really that confident is shit, bro. That means you don't believe what the fuck you're saying.
Hey, I see some bread up there.
Everyone said Mirage said Jermell Charlo was going to knock out Canelo. Is that accurate, Mirage?
No, that's fake news. That's fake news.
Let's go. Bro, you did say that. Yes, you did.
You guys are going to be surprised. Anyway, I'm on the record.
You said that Charlo was going to outbox Canelo, bro. You said that.
No, initially, I considered that. I thought, yeah, maybe he can, but I changed my mind.
You did say that. You said that already like you, bro.
Do you have any evidence? I wouldn't trust you.
Hey, Mirage, you stay contradicting yourself, man. You contradict yourself a lot, Mirage.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, he came in here saying there's no such thing as activating the mandatory, but he took that shit to the boxing voice. We already know who's not credible here, bro.
Him to account with his own logic. That's what I was saying.
Mirage, you part of the Ashy boys. That's it.
Mirage, hold on, bro. Mirage, if you really live in Australia, bro, go find the kangaroo right off into the fucking sunset, bro.
I can't wait till September. I can't wait.
Hey, yo, listen, there's a band on the panel called the Ashy boys, not the Ashy boys. Mirage is part of that shit.
Canelo would have destroyed him. But the excuses, get him ready, get the scripts ready, study. And get ready.
Hold on, I got a quick question for Clavo, real quick.
And I don't even like Crawford, by the way. I don't even like Crawford.
Oh, now you don't like him.
You know what? I was going to ask you that. Wait a minute. I was going to ask you that because I've never heard you go for Crawford like this. The only person I hear you go like this for is David Benavidez. That's it.
That shows you how objective I am.
So this is basically you just hate Canelo, bro. That's all it is. Just admit it.
No, this shows how objective I am. I can hate a fighter. And I can still support them and choose them in a fight. That's objective. You need to understand what's happening here. I know you can't.
No, I understand you being an idiot.
If you hate a fighter, you just pick him to lose because you fucking hate him.
Hold on, Mirage.
I don't hate Crawford. I think Crawford's a great fighter.
There's one thing we haven't discussed yet. Me and Hit Kid, and I think Clavo, me and you talked about this too. Dan Raphael said the other day that the WBC standard purse split of 75-25 that was set for April 8th for the Bivol Benavidez fight. Benavidez side requested a 55-45 split in Bivol's favor. The WBC did not give him that, but has agreed to amend the split, allowing under the rules a 60-40 split in Bivol's favor. What do you guys make of Team Benavidez going to the WBC to get the split changed?
Well, I got to say this. Well, let me just start off with this because here's two things about David Benavidez. One, he's claimed to be a legacy fighter, but we know that ain't true because you spent 10 years at 168, never unified. So let's get that out. And also, he's also stated that I don't care about the money. But so why the fuck are you doing this? Why are you needing a 50-45 fucking split? This is A-side bullshit. Who the fuck are you to request this kind of money, bro?
Is Bivol going to take the fight, or is that your excuse? Is that your excuse now, money? Is that the narrative you're going to run?
This is how your boy is going to price himself out to not make the fight.
Oh, so 60-40 is pricing himself out. Is that what you're going to run with?
A purse bid, bro, it always goes to fucking 25-75. If you know, that's basically a normal purse bid. That's how it goes. With Triple G.
That's rock bottom.
I ain't gonna lie.
You hit rock bottom.
I may not like him that much, whatever. But I'll tell you one thing: Devin Haney, he didn't give a fuck what he got. He just went and fought for the belt. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he didn't get a big part because Kambosos was the A side. You know what I'm saying? And he still took whatever it was, went over there, beat him, and took the belt. Right.
Right. And on the run back,
people outprice themselves. But if you're looking for a legacy to win, to be undisputed, you got to move like that. Whether the Haneys be doing their shit, grimy or not, but that's how you got to move, bro.
And the reason why Supreme is saying this, Mirage, is in case you don't know, is that Benavidez doesn't have a legacy. He doesn't have a legacy of beating all these champions and all these weight classes. He does not have that. Lord Scante said, you need to go back to watching cricket if you think a great 147 guy beats a great 168 man in Canelo.
Canelo's way past his prime. Let me tell you the facts here. I know this.
And Bud isn't.
You're going to get triggered here. You're going to get triggered, but just hold it back. Canelo in 2025, he's a B-level fighter. He's a B-level fighter in 2025.
What is this life and death with the Madrimov with 10 fucking fights, you idiot?
You don't go 8-4. You don't go 8-4 with bum gear and call yourself an elite fighter. That doesn't work.
You don't go with fucking with a guy with only 10 fights.
To be fair, that was Crawford's first fight at 154, so you can kind of see it made sense that he would struggle. Like, you can probably give him leeway for that.
Yeah. And
who had a better win? Wait, hold on, fellas. Edgar was trying to make a point real quick.
Go ahead, Edgar.
Hey, yo, bro, by that logic, this fight's going to be his first fight at 168, so he's going to look worse either way.
Yep.
Well, I know you heard me say earlier that Canelo's going to win based on that.
Right, but you're just saying that his other fight was his first at 154. So now he's moving up another weight class, and it's going to be again his first fight at that weight class. You guys expect him to become Superman overnight?
No, like I said,
he didn't even show me nothing at 154. He said
he can get a little bit more. He can get a little bit more. He can get a little bit more leeway though, because that was just one weight class up. This is multiple weight classes up. So this is going to be even worse.
You're right, but I speak.
The fact of the matter is, weight classes matter.
He should have showed more in 54.
This fight should not be happening. I hope this fight doesn't happen.
Listen, I don't know how
it's going to happen.
Even saying that, he went up there 154 and he won. He won. He should have done. His performance was garbuchniks. He should have won. It still stood in 54. He should have fought like three more people, two more people in 54. Top contenders, not the bullshit that's coming up.
You guys are underestimating.
And then say, and then I would say, he can't talk about Crawford. He went there and beat this guy. He didn't look too great, but then he beat this guy. Then he beat this guy. Then he beat this guy. He won the Canelo fight, no problem. But you're
underestimating how awkward.
That's kind of unrealistic, though.
Okay, let me read this real quick from the Gooch. He said, if you don't want 25%, take the step aside for millions versus Callum Smith, and then fight the winner for more millions. David needs to stop being a bitch. Clavo, do you think that David, he could make millions if he just followed his plan? It almost looked like he's trying to pump fake the whole situation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Mirage. Hey, Mirage, what do you feel about your boy David? They went ahead and rejected many millions to fight Callum Smith, and we denied the fight. How do you feel about that shit, bitch?
So the Gooch was one of those clowns who 3 months ago was saying David's gonna take step aside money like a bitch. Now he's arguing David should take step aside money because and if he doesn't, he's a bitch. This guy's a clown.
I asked you a question. Shout out to the Gooch, bro, but answer my question.
Shout out to the Gooch.
What's your question? I mean, what'd you say?
Bro, Lickowicz just said they offered us many millions for Colin Smith, but we denied the fight.
Million.
And he didn't.
Hey, is this a pro Canelo panel?
No, it's not.
No, you keep it real.
This ain't about Canelo. It's about David Benavidez.
We can talk about Ryan Garcia right now if you want. We can talk about Ryan Garcia if you want right now. I mean, I'll talk about Ryan Garcia.
Well, Solid he's upset again because he was.
He's upset because now David shit in the whole thing.
We can talk about this.
And I was going to ask you a question, Solid. I was going to ask you a question.
Step aside. I want to ask a question. What do y'all, as a boxer, fuck all the outside the ring stuff. As a boxer, what do y'all dislike about David Benavidez as a boxer?
It's not about David Benavidez. It's about his fans.
It's all personal. It's all personal. It's all personal.
Bro, because here's the thing, bro. Because a lot of fans like Mirage. Here's the thing, bro. Hold on. Here's the thing. This dude right here comes through on every panel, not just this one. And every time he gets in the chat, it's all about David Benavidez. So, bro, I believe that this guy has a butt plug with David Benavidez' face on.
Man, are you gonna answer the man's question? Answer his question, man. Don't dish
I just said that I don't hate Benavidez. I hate his fans.
David bullied Canelo. He bullied Canelo, and you're upset.
His lackluster defense.
Edgar speaking, and then Park.
Whoa. Lackluster defense.
Lackluster defense.
Hey, bro.
Terrible footwork.
Go back and watch the Morrell fight. He don't got no lackluster defense. You're cap,
He was
bro.
getting touched up.
No.
He was getting touched up.
No. He was blocking 80. He was blocking 75% of Morrell's punches, bro.
He was blocking the punches with his face.
Are you serious, bro? Oh
his
my
face
God,
looked
bro.
like it went through a meat grinder, bro.
What
the fuck you talking
he was
about?
blocking. David Morrell was landing at will on Benavidez. Are you serious?
He was landing pretty well.
What? He got hit with some shots. Okay, I understand that, but he was landing on him.
He got hit with a lot of
uploaded yesterday on YouTube.
You know what we need to do? We need to link up and do like a. We need to link up and do like a stream watch. Like one of y'all could probably stream the fight and we can watch it all together.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it twice.
If you're telling me Benavidez defense,
if
you're telling me Benavidez defense, if you're telling me Benavidez defense wasn't on point and it's not sharp, you're lying to me. You're lying.
Whose face was marked up more, David's or Morrell's?
You're going to get hit, so that's understandable.
That means that your defense wasn't all the way there.
He was not landing on Benavidez like that. There's a few shots in there. Yes, that's everybody. Everybody. He was not landing like that.
So the face doesn't tell the story,
bro.
So the face doesn't tell the story.
You're lying to me, bro.
Nah, bro. Nah. See what we need to do? No, hold on. What we need to do?
1 second. I haven't gotten to Park Street for a minute. Park Street. What do you think about David Benavidez's defense against David Morrell? Was he some defensive wizard in that fight, or was he getting touched up as well?
Hell no.
If they say Benavidez's defense was bad,
bro, ask another guy a question, bro.
1 second. Let Park Street speak.
Put the butt plug in. You talking
there you go.
So the whole point is, did his defense look better in that fight? Yes.
A little better.
I can agree. It looked better. But was it still shit? It was still shit.
Are you serious, bro? So now, for the record, I like David Morrell. I think he's a great talent. But in that fight, okay, I understand. He got hit with some shots. I understand that. During the course of 12 rounds, most of his attacks were being blocked. Benavidez was blocking him and hitting him. He was hitting Morrell with so many uppercuts. I'm actually impressed Morrell didn't go down. Morrell was not hitting Benavidez like that.
Morrell's a beast, man. Morrell is a beast.
Hey, Standy, that brings up
what are y'all
another
talking
point.
about?
That brings up another point. His power has not moved up with him. His power has not moved up with him.
Well, because he fought a beast.
You either going to knock somebody out or you just going to beat him.
You just admitted to it. You just admitted to it.
He fought a tank. He could take.
Pause, everybody. Hold on 1 second, Park Street. 1 second. Solid as T, you told us that Bud didn't look great in his first fight at 54, but wasn't that Morrell's first fight at 75? Or no, it was
the second fight.
Okay.
It's both of them. It's Benavidez and Morrell are both on. They're both going on their third fight. After this, they're going on their third fight. That was their second. Both of their second fight.
Let me say this. Well, I gotta say this, bro. I gotta say this because David's face looked touched up, and who was it by? It was with the guy that only has 10 fights. So can your defense really be considered that good?
Wait a minute.
Can his defense really be considered that good? You were marked the fuck up more than Morrell was.
Wait a minute.
Look at a photo post-fight. That's how you judge defense.
He was marked up. He was marked up in the Caleb Plant fight, but it didn't do nothing. He still won.
Like
and he still beat
not
Caleb
like in the
Plant.
Morrell fight.
He had 10 fights in his career.
And then Morrell is a Morrell. Give Morrell credit. Morrell is a heavy puncher, so the punches he did land, yeah, you probably would get marked up.
All right, cool.
David was mixing it up. David was mixing it up.
So I thought Benavidez was going to have more experience. I thought his defense was on point. What happened to that?
Morrell is a high level
Did you see
fighter,
the way? Did you see the way he was able to slip Morrell punches and hit Morrell? You're going to deny that? We need to watch that fight together, bro.
Because
we need to watch that fight together.
So this
we need to watch that fight together.
Hey, Salinas, respect. You sound like an educated boxing fan.
I'll tell you what. Let's take a quick.
We need to watch that fight together.
Let's take a quick survey. What level would you say David Benavidez's defense looked to you, Solid as T, in that Morrell fight? A, B, or C?
His defense?
Yes.
His defense was A to me, from what I saw.
Okay, so in the survey, David believes
I wouldn't laugh. I would not laugh.
Hold on, panel.
I would not laugh.
So you believe in the Morrell fight he had an A-level defense, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Mirage, what level do you think David Benavidez's defense was in the Morrell fight? A, B,
gonna
C?
say A.
Considering he did get caught with a reckless and he got buzzed when he came in, so I can't give him an A, but I'll give him a B plus. Yeah, B plus.
Okay, so we got an A, we got a B. Round
Beautiful work, beautiful work. Subtle, very subtle work. That's why it went over Clavo's head. He can't recognize the beauty.
Oh my God! I'm gonna
you too stupid, bro.
Round one. What do you give
Mirage.
David Benavidez's defense? A, B, C, D. What do you give it to him in his last fight?
Yeah, you know what? If you look at the fight prior to that, you seen his face, man. Come on now, bro. He was still getting hit, right? Even with Morrell.
Bro, he's getting hit by bigger guys. When he does get hit, of course he'll get marked up.
No. Round one. Let's just stick to the topic real quick, my brother. What level did you give his defense? A, B, C, D. What do you give it to? What grade?
A C minus.
So we got an A, a B, and a C. Preem, what level did you give Benavidez's defense in his last fight?
What number? What alphabet you gave?
A, B, C, D.
I think E.
Damn. I'm gonna do all that.
Carlos, where did you rank David's defense in the last fight?
Shit, you see the first letter of my name, man? A C minus.
Park Street, where did you put it, Park?
To be honest with you, I would say a solid. I would say a solid C plus.
Okay. And then Edgar, what would you have rated?
That's exactly what Park Street said. I mean, I would give him, and I'm being nice, a C plus.
And before I go to Clavo, I'm gonna give him mine. I think it's a C plus as well. I think he showed improvement fight by fight. That's why I can appreciate David. He has shown improved defense. Even though showing improved defense doesn't mean the job is finished. He still got a long way to go.
I have a question.
So there's some statistics there. Yeah, there's some statistics actually. David's.
Hold on, one second. Clavo, where did you rank his defense?
Man, I gotta go with like a B minus, bro.
All right.
Okay, that's a B. Okay. So there's some. There's some statistics here.
I mean, bro, it got better. It did get better. I'll give him that. But I mean, is it good because another part of your defense is your feet, bro. Is your feet.
Man, I was just gonna say
David ain't got too good of a feet, bro. His
was
feet
just
ain't too good.
Instead of having
some of that
opinions,
was because Morrell wasn't throwing as much either.
Yeah.
So we've got opinions and we've got actual.
Mirage is out of his team. What you gotta say about Benavidez? 2 left feet. Benavidez got 2 left feet.
Yeah, yes, and Plant and Andre had amazing feet. What happened to them?
I feel like it's a no fact that Benavidez don't got the best footwork.
Flush. Listen, Morrell hit him not flush, and he got knocked out.
Defense is with his upper body, with his high guard and head movement. That's his style. He doesn't jump back. He doesn't jump back 2 feet like Shakur Stevenson.
Did he touch the canvas?
I didn't get your prediction on this fight. If the Benavidez Bivol fight happens, who do you have winning and why?
Well, that's a good question.
You asking me?
Yes, sir.
Bivol and Benavidez, to be honest, I think this is a 50-50 fight. It could go either way.
Oh, wow.
Salinas is educated. I can tell he knows his boxing. So respect.
He's trying to recruit. Stop recruiting people.
Is that what he's agreeing with you?
Hey, but I'll say this. Let me say this. Let me add this to it. I think it's a 50-50 fight, but it wouldn't surprise me if Bivol win. He is a little bit better technically, but I still think it's 50-50. I think Benavidez is good enough to upset him.
Is he still an educated fan, Mirage, for you?
Very high level, yeah.
Okay. Man, Lord Scante says, as a boxer, I hate the fact that he misses weight, and I hate the fact that he loses his titles. I hate the fact that he loses his belts for taking banned substances. And so, David is.
Well, then you really got to hate Canelo. You must despise
so
Canelo.
He really blew. David really blew a lot of opportunities to fight Canelo when he fucked up his.
Hey, let me ask this.
Early.
Hey, why do I always get death threats from Mexican fans when I mention the fact that, which is the actual fact that's documented, that Canelo did test positive for what he got tested positive? Why do I get death threats from these motherfuckers when I say that?
Who would give you a death threat?
Damn, who would do that?
Damn, bro.
Hey, I'm asking y'all. There's another.
Hold on, Solid. No. That's a fair statement. Did anybody on this panel give you a death threat for that?
No. I was on another. Nobody on this panel. I was on another boxing platform. As Mexicans, right?
Shit, we can't control the world.
I mentioned it. It's a known fact that happened. It's not fake. It's confirmed. He got suspended for it. Why do these Mexicans get so mad and they want to do harm to your boy for saying that? They can't. They can't handle the
Answer this. I'm gonna let the panel get it. In fairness, I can't answer why anybody would say that. If they did, that's unacceptable. The only thing I can tell you is, from my experience holding this channel, I think it's been 4 or 5 years now. I've got nothing but hate, death threats from mostly black people. And it was always about Beaner this, get deported, I hate you, wetback. It's like this is like filled my inbox.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I have some of the I have some of the harshest people. I mean, look, I got like all kinds of channels, Southpaw, Onslaught TV, make videos, and it's all about, oh, you only support Mexicans, or Mexicans suck. They'll never be as good as black people. And there's never any facts. They want to attack me, but they don't want to attack the argument. And that really kind of shows you the level that they are. They don't want to attack the argument. They want to attack me. So I'm just giving you my experience. It's always been more black people attacking me than anybody else. It's always been that way. Even with the Bud Crawford thing, I'll praise Bud Crawford all day long, and then somebody says, "Oh, you fucking hating because of the Manny thing." I can't criticize Bud without people jumping down my throat. Like guys in the chat earlier were cursing me out in the panel, calling us bitches for saying that we think Manny would win. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's not cool. I don't agree with none of that.
I mean, even the whole WBC was a whole community created to push a pro.
Oh, you don't like it? You're getting triggered, Supreme?
Mirage, you're sus.
You're getting triggered. You're getting emotionally triggered with the facts. Canelo's so pumped up, he's almost exploding. Canelo's almost blowing up.
What, because he took a fat burner?
Hold on, one second.
Does that give you muscles? Did that give you fucking huge muscles?
Mirage, shut the hell up.
Hold on, Mirage. Edgar has a question real quick.
Nuke, just to be clear with, I guess this guy's point or question or whatever. Yes, he got, he tested positive for that substance, but that substance is, anyone can look it the fuck up. It is put in fucking Mexican cow meat. So if you were to test any fucking Mexican walking any fucking street in Mexico, they would pop positive for that. So you're gonna tell me that Don Juan, who works at a fucking farm in wherever Mexico, is gonna fucking take a fucking
how come no other Mexicans got busted? How come no other Mexicans got busted?
Hold on, Mirage. Even the NFL issued a warning to its players about eating the meat in Mexico because it was contaminated.
It'll come up.
The Mexican
so how come there weren't dozens?
Mirage, you got to shut the fuck up for a second. The Mexican soccer team failed drug tests for butyrol. So the NFL put out the warning. So it is a common trait in Mexican meat. They process things differently. So it's something that you wouldn't understand because you live in a different part of the world, Mirage. So you think everybody's trying to eat, and that's not even the case.
Hey, can I respond?
He's been eating koalas.
Can I respond? Can I respond?
So he's saying you eating koalas probably have some kind of other substance.
Eating a koala back meat. Koala back ribs.
Can I respond? So if it's so widespread, if it's so widespread in Mexican meat, why weren't dozens and dozens of Mexican boxers testing positive? Why was
there
it
was
basically
other Mexican boxers that
it should have been
WBC had to take action.
It should have been dozens. It was only Valdez. It was only Valdez and Canelo, wasn't it?
Guys, wait a minute. I mean, why are we even going
over
this?
Did
he not get exonerated?
He did get exonerated too. Yeah, he got exonerated.
Right, he was exonerated, and he was already cleared of all of this. You want to have a nonsense argument?
Hey, Nuke, did you read the
He was suspended for 6 months.
And he took a hair follicle test and got exonerated.
Read the Gooch comment. One out again. Check his screen. He had to put up Canelo pictures to get him one in.
Yeah, the Gooch and Mirage rubbing one out again.
Hey, since when do fat burners give you like Mr. Olympia delts and traps? When does that happen? I want to buy that shit. I want to buy that fat burner.
Well, then
those two pictures
go to Mexico and eat a bunch of meat.
Your neck vanishes.
Might as well go eat chorizo tacos or something.
Hold on.
If the Mexican meat theory was true, there literally would have been dozens and dozens. Every single Mexican fighter would have tested positive. But no, it was Valdez.
Not necessarily. Not if they fight in Mexico, you dumb shit.
And since
there's a lot of Mexican fighters fight out of the U.S., dumbass.
Mirage.
Hey,
Mirage.
then
Raj, hold on, Raj. Well, I gotta ask you this. It's not funny to you how during the buildup of the David and Benavidez and Morrell fight, that during the beginning, your boy looked like a fucking bag of rotten milk, and around the time of the fight, he had a fucking six-pack. How the fuck does that happen, dumbass? But I don't care to address that, bro, because I feel like all fighters at the top level, they got to be taking some, bro. Do I think Canelo took the clenbuterol? Maybe, because you went all the way to fight fucking Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and so you had to drop weight to go back. So, bro, so there's a possibility that maybe he did, but so what? He got exonerated. Regardless of what the fuck you want to say. But what about your boy? How do you get a six-pack in a couple of months?
The WBC exonerated him. And he got,
so how did your boy have a six-pack? How'd your boy have a six-pack within almost like 2 months? How does that
happen? He lost weight. Easy. He lost weight. You should try it sometime.
Yeah.
You should try it sometime, fat ass.
I got a question, Mirage. You rather take clenbuterol or you rather take cocaine?
I'd rather take clenbuterol.
Cocaine's a recreational drug, man.
That's okay. That's okay.
I wouldn't mind a couple of lines.
Can you lose your world title for taking?
Bro, he's crazy for that.
What's wrong with a couple of lines every now and then, man? That's some good shit.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying, can you lose your world title for doing that?
Unfairly. He shouldn't have lost it. I was out of camp. He was having a bit of fun, and they went after him.
Didn't he just come to a fight drunk not that long ago and said he apologized to his fans, say he won't do it again?
Idiot.
Yeah, Canelo doesn't drink. Canelo's never drunk.
When have you seen him go to a fight drunk?
Okay. What do you want to do about it?
Okay.
Oh my God.
What do you want to do about it? Like, are we going to fucking suspend him or something? I don't know. What's your point? Yeah, he should. He got a bit carried away. I don't like him, showing up drunk, and he never happened again. So
Mirage is upset that he got drunk that night, didn't show up to his hotel room.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Instead,
what it is.
he wound up watching the Ellen show.
Anyway, what was the topic? We were talking. We went up.
Right now the topic is you, bro. This fucking obsession that you got is unhealthy, dog. Like, I'm getting concerned, my nigga.
Yeah, but you can be obsessed with Canelo, but any other fanboy, they got mental issues.
Well, here's the thing, bro. We were talking about Bud Crawford. You know that Benavidez comes in the mix when you get in this panel. And of course, I had to address that fucking beat that you took from Ness.
You were talking about it before even joining.
Well, the first thing we had to address was you getting chewed up by Ness, bro, which that shit was lovely, by the way.
Well, the sad thing about Mirage is he's not even honest. He gets chewed up by Ness, admits all these facts, and when we press him over here, he won't admit anything we say. He'll just stand firm in denial. And I feel like that's not right. That's what I mean. I don't like. This is the only reason why I'm not liking debates on the channel, because then when I debate people, they're sitting in denial. You remember I debated Onslaught TV, and then he said that nobody could beat Tank. I don't know if you remember this, but an A-level fighter. Then he said, "Oh yeah, Lamont Roach is an A-level fighter because he got a world title." And then so does that make William Skull and Raleigh Romero A-level fighters because they have world titles? Like
exactly.
And then that's what I'm saying. Like, but rather than just admit and lose, he has to put up some bullshit. And that's what I'm saying. That's why you can't even win a debate with these guys, because they'll sit in denial and be like, "I didn't say that. I didn't say no. A world title means you're A-level." No, it doesn't. So,
hey, can I ask something real quick? Because I got to get off. The next big fight coming up is Boots versus Stanionis. Who y'all got in that?
Oh
Boots.
man,
it's a close fight to me, but I think Boots wins.
Yeah,
I think Boots takes it.
He looks skinny.
60-40.
I'm good with 60-40. And I could let me at least say this. I think Boots wins the fight, but I think he gets rocked or wobbled in the fight.
If he gets rocked and wobbled, he's done. Stanionis he'll finish him off.
I think Stanionis gonna hit him with some hard and move that leg a little bit. Maybe kind of like Kavaliauskas did to Bud when Bud hit the canvas. Maybe something like that.
I think it's a showcase fight for.
I thought that was a knockdown. I'm just saying, I thought that was fair.
He's not a pushover. Yeah, he's not a pushover. I'm gonna give that a 60-40.
But Staniotis
is a tough fighter. This should be a good back and forth. But I think Boots might slightly win. Staniotis is tough though.
That he had the last fight with that clown touching him up a lot with the left hand. He's gonna have a fucking long night with this kid.
That's what
the difference stylistically, Stanionis is perfect for Boots. He's perfect matchup for Boots stylistically. You agree?
I would say not power wise, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's why it's going to look different to Karen. It's going to look very different to Karen, in my opinion.
The Brian Norman fight, it was a good win, but I still need to see more. Derek Cuevas doesn't prove to me nothing, man. For real.
I think Boots washes Brian Norman personally.
Yeah, me too. I got Boots Ennis.
That's why he didn't take that fight.
I think Boots going to have a rougher time with Stanionis, but he's going to win. And then people are going to say, oh, no, Norman got a chance. And then he's going to beat the hell out of Norman.
Is the Ring Magazine belt on the line for that fight? It should.
I kind of disagree with that. I think Brian Norman would be a better challenge.
Really?
His elusiveness might be able to be able to stick with Boots. I think I like that one better. Stanionis is good, but he's kind of like a power puncher, brawler type.
Yeah.
But Brian Norman, he's a little bit more slicker than that. I think that might give Boots more trouble. I rather that.
Right now, Stanionis got better wins than Brian Norman.
Let's see Boots get through this. This is a hard hurdle for him. Not gonna be easy.
See, I don't, like I said, right here, I understand fighting top guys is important and all that. I'm not downgrading that, but I like to judge fighters off their talent. Talent-wise, Brian Norman Jr. would be a tougher fight than Stanionis.
He's good.
Skills-wise, not just all based on the fact that he fought.
I seen his energy change because he wanted more money. I'm like, dude, who are you?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. I seen Devin Haney talking about he was going to move up to welterweight. This is before he had any fights or contracts signed. And he was on the zone, and they was like, man, would you, he's telling me, yeah, I go to 147. I want to fight those guys. And the guy kept asking him, would you fight Boots? Would you fight Boots? Dude never said his whole name on the whole show. And that's when I lost respect for Devin Haney. Well, that in the fact that but anyway, it's just I lost respect because he was too pussy to at least say the man's name. Like I thought he was everybody.
Ask my man, Ryan Garcia that. Ask my man Ryan Garcia that. He's like, I'll fight that motherfucker.
I got little pushback. You should always have respect for Haney for what he did. To go to somebody's backyard and beat him twice, then turn around and fight an all-time great in Loma when he didn't have to. That right there should have you respecting him forever. You should never lose respect.
So far as fighting Kambosos as a CD level fighter,
he had the belts. He had the belts. Let's fight.
I'm just giving my perspective. I'm gonna give you a little pushback. I'm sorry, Kambosos sucks, and anybody could any top fighter in that division or the other ones, they would have all beat that guy. I'm sorry, Kambosos.
And let me ask you a hypothetical. It's a hypothetical.
No, I'm just saying, what other fight has Kambosos won against a big name besides that one with Tiff?
No, I get it. I'm not high on Kambosos either. I totally get that point.
That's all I was saying. And so I already know Kambosos sucks. I respect what Haney did by getting the belts, but he saw an opportunity to run and go grab easy belts.
No, he didn't see no opportunity. This the guy.
Hold on, my brother. A little more pushback. And then with the Loma fight, I think we all saw, at least the majority of boxing fans that I've been in contact with, saw Vasil Lomachenko win that fight, get robbed, and Haney get the victory. And then Haney said, well, you know, I'm going to move up in weight, but I would only stay at the weight for Tank Davis, but not Loma, when everybody needed a ring. And that was the most controversial fight we've ever had. And so I just don't, he moved funny to me. He even admitted he tried to cherry pick Ryan Garcia. He literally did an interview talking about cherry picking him.
The thing is, to ask you a hypothetical, if you was a pro boxer and you was in his shoes, you would do the same thing. Nobody's going to say no. This the guy that got the belts. If he got the belts, you're going to fight him.
Hold on, my brother.
You're not turning down no championship fight.
So the only thing is, I'm gonna tell you this: me and you move completely different. So just
you're not turning down no championship fight.
Hold on, just a little pushback, like you said. Just because you will move that way, don't mean I will move that way.
You're turning down championship fights?
Hold on, my brother. I'm a guy that likes to challenge himself in everything I do. So me personally, I would have challenged myself when the guy was like, oh, you going to say Boots' name? Dude never said his name. He sit there, never one peep. Me personally, I would have said Boots' name. I'm cool with Boots. I would have ended up fighting Shakur. But he ran away from all it. The only fight he was wanting to fight was Tank. And then he was trying to dish out A-side terms to Tank Davis, who would have been the obvious A-side to him.
So, wait a minute. Yep. You're turning down championship fights?
Is Boots not a champion?
No, I'm talking about when you're leading up.
No, I'm asking you, is Boots not a champion?
No. You're at 135. That's your weight. You're going to fight at 135. So there's no Boots. You got an opportunity to fight for the belts. It happens to be Kambosos. You're turning that down?
Oh, I didn't say I would turn it down. I said anybody would have beat him. It's
That's
not
all.
about,
okay.
None.
There we
I
go.
think what you're misunderstanding is I said it was good that he got the belts. I have no issue with that, but I'm not going to give him
So the
extra
other stuff
credit.
don't matter
Hold
then.
on, my brother.
Two things
I'm
can
not going
be
to give
true.
him extra credit for it. So my issue with him is he should have ran it back with Loma. You don't want that smudge on your resume. You see what Floyd did when he lost the first one to Castillo and they took it from him? Floyd ran it
Did
back
not
and said,
lose.
look, I need to
Floyd
go.
did not
Bro,
lose.
you got to let me finish. You just got to let me finish. When the whole world saw Floyd lose to Castillo and the fact that everybody robbed Castillo blind, Floyd ran it back and got that black mark and just tried to make it look a little better. That's what Haney should have did with Loma, but he didn't want to do that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I lost respect. And then I lost respect when he didn't want to say Booth's name. He moved kind of funny to me, and I didn't really like that. That's all I'm saying.
It's the same thing with what Tank. It was the same thing what Tank is doing right now with Lamar Roach. He's trying to run the rematch to take that smudge out of his record.
Yeah.
Wait, Solidus. You think? Hold on. Wait, Solidus. You think Floyd beat Castillo in the first fight?
Yeah, he did. Then he beat him even worse in the second fight.
That's all I needed to know. I just, I kind of gauge boxing.
How did Castillo beat him? How did he beat him?
I understand where you stand now.
No. Let me explain. It was a very tough. It's funny you mention that because not too long ago I watched that replay. That's why it's funny you mentioned that. It was a very tough fight. He was on Floyd's ass. Yes, it was very close. If they would have said draw, that might have been cool. But beat Floyd, no. But you know what though? Check this out. It really don't matter if people felt like, oh, the first fight was controversial. They ran it back, and Floyd whooped his ass and knocked his ass out and sent him home. Now, he passed away. Rest in peace to him. But he got his ass knocked out in the rematch, so we settled it. Y'all think this a bullshit win to y'all? I robbed him? Okay, let's run it back. Ran it back, beat his ass. It's over with. We ain't got to talk about that no more.
Hold on.
Same thing my OG did. Hold on, let me finish this. Same thing my OG Ward did to Kovalev. Same thing my OG Ward did to Kovalev.
Hold on 1 second, Solid. This is why I appreciate Floyd, because he did run him back. He did have the heart to do that, but that doesn't negate the fact that the first fight was a robbery. They can never change that first fight. Do you understand?
It was a very tough fight.
Let me finish.
It was a tough fight.
That first fight doesn't automatically become something else because you won the rematch. Clearly. So yes, it's good he made the adjustments, but on that one night, he was not the better man. But I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
I would love
Canelo lost to Triple G the first
I would love
everybody's entitled to their opinion. One thing I will say is what Mike Trades is saying here. It says you can't criticize black fighters without these guys getting in their feelings. I don't get it.
And so you can criticize. Boxing, you can criticize black fighters. I'll criticize a black fighter.
Hold on, my brother. I'm giving a final synopsis on the channel real quick. And I think what Mike Trade says is true. When you criticize black fighters, when you criticize guys like that, people really get upset. When you criticize a Bud Crawford, guys will come at you. When you criticize a Floyd, guys will come at you. When you criticize an Andre Ward's resume and career, guys will come at you. When we saw him lose the first Kovalev fight, everybody will probably say these same guys will say, oh, no, he clearly beat Kovalev both times. It's that type of thinking and talking where it's just 100% biased.
The first fight and Andre Ward fight, the first Andre Ward and Kovalev fight, Kovalev should have got the win. That was robbery. But they ran it back and Ward won. And you can criticize a black fighter all you want because this is the same shit. This is the same thing I get from Mexicans. I challenge somebody's point on the Mexican fighter. I'm a racist. They don't like me. Black this, black that. They do the same thing so-called black people do. So
no one does that over here, my brother. We don't bring up no race card if we disagree.
Okay, not here. Not here, but other channels do. This channel don't.
And
so I'm gonna fuck with this channel more.
Racist tones and everything to the channel. That's why I'm entertaining. But I think this is a great conversation. Clavo had a phone call. Mirage, thanks for jumping on. Solidus, round one. Edgar Moreno, Supreme, Carlos, and Park Street. Man, it's been great chatting with everybody. We will do this again. Salute to everybody. We're out.
Salute. All right. Yep.